here.
Hey, hello everyone. Welcome back to the High Octane podcast. I am your host, Bob. As you can see, I am solo on this end today. Sergio's out. He's doing his taxes this afternoon. So it's just going to be me. And I got my boy, George, on the other end over there.
What's up, everybody?
Georgie boy, what's been happening,
Yes.
man?
Working.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
all that's been happening is working.
Sounds like the same for me.
Yeah. And dog sitting.
That's always fun.
Yes, I hear you.
Not particularly, actually. But
No.
whatever, it's cool. It's nice of you.
Oh, yeah. It's Dad's birthday. He's out in Arizona. He's turning a wonderful 71 years old.
Hell yeah. Happy birthday, Dad.
Makes me feel old. Like crap. I'm like, great.
Yeah,
I want to get closer to that age.
We're not old yet.
How I feel it.
I feel it sometimes, but we're not old yet. So just work then?
Yeah, pretty much just working. And yeah. Thank you. Yeah. And that's what I'm doing, putting the dog. That's it.
Punk ass dog.
Just trying
Back up, punk ass dog.
Yeah. So
All right, well that's cool.
what else has been going on with you?
Exactly nothing.
Hey, buddy.
Work. More work. The gym.
Something I need to do.
And then back to work, pretty much.
Something I need to be doing, Jim.
How was
But
your
I
what?
hate doing in the afternoon though.
I know. We went late on Monday because I had to go pick up my new debit card because there was a mix-up with the mail.
Oh.
So I had to go pick it up, and I didn't get back to town until about 5. And then we went to the gym at 6, and it was an absolute nightmare.
Yeah. Like
So I understand you not wanting to go in the afternoon. I understand.
I mean, sometimes I get off at 1:30. Sometimes I get off at like 4 or 5 in the evening. By the time I do that, I'm tired. So, who are you yelling at? Who? And I'm tired. And I'm like, well, I know I need to go. But I'm just no motivation to do it.
Yeah, I get it. When you're tired, it's really difficult just on that basis. But then, even if you sit down for 2 minutes, like I don't even want to get back up off this damn chair.
Man, I don't want to get off this couch. What you talking about?
I completely get it.
I was at work at 4:15 this morning. I left at 3:30-ish. Yeah.
No, thank you.
I'm done. I'm here.
All right.
Eat. I'm just chill. But
well, all right.
I'm in your car.
Well, that's cool. Everybody, I'm going to say this now. My father will be on shortly.
Lord, I haven't seen Pops in forever.
So this is going to be his first time on live video. So everybody kind of be gentle with my dad. He might not be the most camera comfortable, I guess. I don't fucking know. But yeah, my dad's going to be joining us very shortly. So that's going to be fun. But until he comes, me and George are going to talk about some bullshit first.
Yeah.
And then before we get into that, though, I have to tell you guys what I'm drinking. So we're going to do that. What am I drinking? What are we drinking?
Bourbon.
Actually, it is not bourbon. It is rye whiskey. And since my dad is going to be on today, which I didn't think he was going to be late, but it's whatever. It's fine. Because of that, I went and got some Michigan rye. This is from the Two James Distillery in Detroit. It's a rye whiskey, 49.4%. It's pretty fucking good, actually. I've had it before, but Yeah, I kind of figured I'd get something Michigan based since my dad's coming on, and that's where I'm from.
Yeah,
So it's
won't
cool.
hold it completely against you.
Yeah, shut your hole. But yeah, it's good. It's a little bit on the expensive side. It was like $48 before tax, but it's pretty damn good. So, cheers, and don't drink and drive.
Cheers. I'm not drinking because I don't keep alcohol in the house.
No, I mean that's fine. It's not a bad idea actually.
Sometimes I be wanting a drink.
Well, yeah, I'm sure.
Sometimes.
That's why you stop on your way home and you get some little airplane bottles, and then you make you a drink.
Yeah, that's very true. We need to go to the legendary milkshake bar downtown.
I volunteer as tribute.
I'll send you a video of their shakes. There's
Fuck yeah, I'll go.
OMG, yeah.
Fuck yeah, I'll go. Shit, I'm always down for milkshake. Hell yeah. All right. So we're gonna get into this real quick. We're gonna go through a few things before my dad comes on, just to get him out of the way, because I know he's not gonna be a fan of talking about them. But let's do the race schedule real quick. Not going to share the screen on this one because it's just going to be quick. The Chinese Grand Prix for F1 has been canceled due to COVID. Fuck you, China.
They have an outbreak. I mean, they're having another outbreak.
F1
you really can't be upset about that.
F1 just needs to pull out of fucking China altogether. Fuck China.
Oh.
And then for the 14th and the 16th, obviously that's this weekend. The FIA World Endurance Championship is in Portugal at Portimao. That sounds more fucking like Vietnamese than Spanish, but whatever. Yes. Or Portuguese. That is a 6-hour long race, so it is technically an endurance race. So if you're into that, check it out. I know I like those kind of races, so I might try to find a little bit of that. Yeah. And then the same 3-day period over the weekend, and the MotoGP is in the USA at Circuit of the Americas in Texas.
That's my toe.
So check that shit out, because that's a cool track, and you got fast as fuck motorcycles on there. So check that shit out. And that's all that's going on this week.
Okay.
Couple of things next week, and then the week after that we got 4 races. So
I have a question for your dad. I'm excited he's coming on.
Yeah, he's coming on right now. Hello, Father.
Hey, hello, Dad.
Hey, ladies.
Oh my God, I'm sorry.
My dad's here.
I was just talking about you. I have a question for you.
I know my ears were burning.
Yeah.
Yours looking good, man. Looking good, buddy.
I've gotten a lot bigger. I wish somebody on the other side of there needs to get a little bit of weight, looking like a toothpick.
You're a happy fat.
I am a happy fat. I am. What do you think of the new possible Corvette SUV?
Damn it, man! We were gonna talk about that later.
I had to ask your dad. I'm sorry. I had to do it. Sorry.
No, it's fine, but I mean, I got it. So yeah.
No, I'm not talking to you. Boss lady came in, asked if I was talking to her. Right, she knows I was going to do this, but Cindy, you want to come say hi to George?
Where the hell is it? There it is.
Mom.
All right.
Hold up.
Yeah. You're good. I'm pulling up the Corvette SUV thing right now.
Hi, Johnny. Hi.
Mom. Oh my God.
Hello, Mother.
Good. How are you?
Good. How are you? Come here, you.
There's my mother, everyone. Hi, Mom.
Oh, hi, puppy.
Yes, I'm dog sitting for my parents.
Thought it was your dog.
That's not my dog. No, this is Mom's dog.
Is it your brother or sister?
Brother. Yes. Spoiled rotten. Yes. Okay. Yeah, I just ate. Okay. No, you smell the chicken sandwich. Okay. Go.
Yeah. All right. Well, I won't keep you guys. I just wanted to say hi.
Hi, okay. Mom.
Hi, Mom. Hello. Bye, Mom.
All right. Love you guys.
All right. Love you too.
All right. So this is an article that I found actually today about this Corvette SUV.
Yeah.
So, all right, Dad, hit us with your opinion on it. I'll scroll.
I think that making the Corvette a separate brand is, how do I say this? asinine.
Agreed.
Agreed.
I don't understand what the companies, and it's not just General Motors. Ford's doing the same stupid stuff.
Well, Dodge did the same thing with the Ram.
Right. And I don't understand what the rationale is, especially with a vehicle like the Corvette. You're talking about a vehicle that's been in production for 70 flipping years. Why would you do something that stupid? It's the flagship of the Chevrolet brand.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely it is.
Why would you do that? I mean, it doesn't make any sense. I can see doing it with Cadillac maybe, but Cadillac is a brand all its own.
Yeah.
But if you're going to do something like make the Lyric a brand, I think you're watering this stuff down too much. And I think you're doing Corvette, the name, and the Corvette owners a disservice by doing that. I think it's disrespectful to the guys that own Corvettes, to be perfectly honest with you.
I agree. I think that is very disrespectful to people who are Corvette enthusiasts, who love the car, what it stood for, what it was built for, and how they treasure that vehicle. And then you're going to turn it into an SUV because that's what the people are buying now. But your enthusiasts will always buy your vehicle.
Right. Agreed.
Enthusiasts will always buy your vehicle.
Yep. I think they should be, my personal opinion is they should be trying to get people to buy the Corvette in its present form.
Yes.
I mean, the demographic for the Corvette, that particular demographic is getting older. A lot of them are my generation because we can afford those cars a little bit easier than say the younger set can. Yes. And as far as sports cars go, there's a lot of different choices out there, and a lot of the younger generations seem to gravitate more towards those. I think that you should be trying to bring the younger demographic in to buy your car, and I think going with a sedan or an SUV that's the wrong way to go, especially the SUV. I hate SUVs. I hate them. Made a lot of money building them, but I absolutely cannot stand them. I really hate the direction that these companies are going in. Everybody's making a damn SUV. I hate them.
Legit everyone is. I mean,
I'm talking Lamborghini,
Ferrari,
all of them. Ferrari, Rolls,
Aston Martin.
I mean, come on, seriously?
Alfa Romeo. Everyone has jumped on board with the SUVs.
That's what I'm talking about.
And I'm not a fan of them either. Obviously, I've always been
a fan of the Tahoe Suburban. Always have been. And I drive a Tahoe, and I love the Tahoe. Do not get me wrong.
Right.
But at the same time, just for I want to keep the Tahoe for if I decide to get a boat, I have something that can pull it. But for my daily driver, I want a sedan. I do. I want a full-size Cadillac sedan, or I kind of want another Honda Accord. I do. That's really what I want. But I just want the SUV basically just to pull the boat. Because when I get a boat. That's the only reason why I want the SUV.
To me, that's what those vehicles are for.
Yeah, they're utilitarian vehicles.
They're utility vehicles. Same thing with pickup trucks. You know what? I have a pickup truck, small one, but I have a pickup truck. Had it for 25 years. It serves its purpose. Yeah. I drive it for, if I'm going to the hardware store to buy something in a big ass box, that's what it's for. I don't daily drive it. I did for a while, but I don't daily drive it. And pickup trucks are another vehicle that really kink my colon. You got people that buy these freaking trucks, these gigantic $80,000 trucks, and there's one person in it.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
What the hell's the point? And why did you waste that kind of money on a freaking vehicle for one person to drive? Come on, seriously?
You're talking.
Do you have a fifth wheel? No, you don't have a fifth wheel. You have got a travel trailer. You got a boat. You got something. They got nothing. That's how I missed the station wagon. I missed the station wagon.
Oh, yeah. We love wagons on this show.
I love station wagons.
Hell yeah! All right, so this Corvette SUV is obviously not what it's going to look like. This is just another bullshit rendering someone did. It's just kind of reference material, I guess. I don't like the way it looks.
Right? No, I hate it.
Yeah, I don't like the way it looks at all. There's nothing about it that I like. Nothing. I mean, and we've seen some of them actually don't look horrible, but obviously what General Motors decides to bring to market and what people want are going to be two completely different things.
It usually is.
But this one, it says that this thing's going to go up against the Porsche Cayenne, possibly the Lamborghini Urus.
The Urus is slow.
Well, I know, I understand that. They're saying this thing's going to have up to 682 horsepower. I want to say it's going to be a hybrid.
Yeah, but if it's going to weigh 6,000 pounds, it needs that kind of horsepower just to get out of its own flipping way.
Well, at that point, it needs more.
You know,
honestly.
I mean, come on, seriously?
Yeah. And the only other information relevant in this article is it's going to start at 60 grand, but with dealer markups and all that bullshit. You're probably going to look at closer to probably 100 grand.
Yeah.
But
that's ridiculous.
For what you're coming after in the market, the Porsche Cayenne at full fucking trim level, whatever the hell it is, the turbo, what is that? A couple $100 grand, and then the Urus is almost 300 grand.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you can make a decent looking product that can compete, and then keep it a third of the price, I mean, now
but see, General Motors already has that. It's called a Cadillac Escalade.
That's true. Maybe not so much anymore. Like top line, the Escalade V Blackwing retails for what, 160?
Yeah.
And with dealer markups,
that's a little on the ridiculous side.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's a separate issue. But
compared to let's just throw in an AMG G-Wagon, whatever the BMW fucking equivalent is.
The XM?
Yeah, the XM, the X5M or whatever the hell it is. You know, the AMG G-Wagon is at least 200.
Yeah, and base price is just right now is 225. Base price.
There you go. You're close on $250,000.
Yeah.
And then the BMW, the X5M comes in at probably what, 125, 130?
Yeah, roughly around there.
Okay, so the Escalade, yeah, obviously they do have that, but it's gigantic for one, and not a lot of people can afford that.
Well, agreed.
So, I mean, I'm going back. I don't agree with you that General Motors needs or should make a Corvette SUV. I do not agree with it, but they seem dead set on it. So let's talk hypothetical. If it is a hybrid, if they're going to use the supercharged 6.2 out of the Corvette, or even just the regular 6.2, that already is performance, decent performance. And then you throw in 2 electric motors to make it all-wheel drive.
Yeah.
You bump it from 495 to probably what it's saying in this article, almost 700 horsepower. Okay, we're talking because it doesn't have that giant battery pack of the Lyric.
No.
So it's not going to weigh 6,000 pounds. It's probably going to weigh more like between 4 and 5.
Which is still pretty beefy.
It is still heavy, but that's typical for these vehicles nowadays. These fucking things are heavy.
Well, the electric ones are, yeah. I mean, that's territory of the vehicles that I grew up learning to drive. I mean, I learned to drive in a Delta 88 Oldsmobile that had a 455 2-barrel.
I mean, Christ.
The car weighed 4,200 pounds, but it would get up and go.
It probably felt like 7,000 pounds, though.
Actually, it didn't. It rode good because it was heavy, but it actually handled pretty good. My dad ordered it direct from the factory because we had a travel trailer. It had a 4-core radiator, had heavy-duty suspension, heavy-duty brakes, but it had no air conditioning, but it was power everything. So this car, I mean, for the way it was set up and what it was used for, it was a fun car to drive. And Dad, if you're listening, I blew the carbon out of it every chance I got.
I don't doubt that one bit.
I don't doubt that one bit.
Not even at all. How many fucking sets of rear tires did you go through?
Actually, not that many. I never lit it up. I just drove it fast.
Oh, I see. Okay. So you got that in between gear puff of smoke.
Yeah. My question is this: if they do hypothetically make this Corvette SUV, Is it going to be on the Blazer platform or is it going to be on the Tahoe platform?
Yeah, see, that's it. It may be a platform all its own.
I was going to say the same thing. It doesn't need to be on either one.
Yeah, it could be. It could be a platform all its own. If it's going to be its own brand, then they may want to start with a clean sheet of paper.
And if it is going to be its own brand, I don't want to see any parts bin bullshit on this vehicle.
That's always been one of the biggest things about Corvette. Period.
Absolutely, it has.
Yep. And I mean, for it's the flagship of the Chevy brand. Why would you put some bullshit that you can get in a Cavalier?
Exactly.
In a Corvette.
2014, when they went from C6 to C7, it had a Cavalier steering wheel in it.
Yep. They got raked over the coals. They got raked over the coals for it, and rightly so.
Yeah, they did. Fuck yeah, they did. And they didn't really upgrade it too much because they went from the Cavalier steering wheel to a Malibu steering wheel.
Right.
So that's not much of an upgrade, but it was an upgrade.
But
But yeah, I mean, no parts bin stuff. I don't want anything carryover minus maybe the 6.2. That's what if we're gonna be subjected to this vehicle, that's what I want to see.
Well, yeah, I don't agree. I don't disagree as far as that goes.
Yeah.
But you know, I honestly, if you're gonna get away from the Corvette that is in production now, honestly, I just as soon see and don't make a freaking SUV. God, don't make an SUV.
I agree.
I saw a rendering of a sedan.
I think
I don't know.
I think I've seen something.
I can be better with a sedan than I would be an SUV.
I saw a rendering of a sedan. Now, you could still tell from the front end that it was a Corvette.
Right.
It was somebody's idea, but I would rather see a sedan than an SUV. If you have to go that way, I'd rather see a sedan than an SUV.
100%.
That's just my opinion. I'm a car guy. I like cars. I've always liked cars. Utility vehicles have their place. Pickup trucks, Suburbans. Owned a Suburban. It was a good vehicle. It's actually still on the road, by the way. Vehicles like that. But, those vehicles are niche vehicles. They're utilitarian. I'm a car guy. Always going to be a car guy. If they force my hand at some point to buy something other than a car, who knows? I might just freaking walk.
Is this what you're talking about?
I'd drive that, honestly.
I don't remember. You know what? I think that was. I don't recall seeing it in yellow, but it looks similar to what I saw. Yeah.
All right. Let me see if there's any other colors here.
I can't remember. I don't remember seeing it in yellow. I might have seen it in silver, or like a more benign color.
Yeah.
But some of those iterations, all it looks like they did is they took the Corvette coupe, stretched it, and jammed 2 more doors and a back seat in it.
I mean, that's basically what they're going to have to do, really.
Well, and if you're going to do that, my question is, what's the point?
There's no point because my car was a 2+2 coupe, and the back seat was useless.
There you go.
You're not gonna stretch the Corvette enough to where it's a conventional Malibu Impala size sedan. You're just not gonna do that. It's just not workable.
Well, and I don't think from an aesthetic standpoint it's going to work either.
That's what I mean. It's going to look too long. The doors are going to be too long.
Yeah, someone's going to see that and they're going to go, "What the hell? Did you take that to a limo company and just have them stretch it?"
They'll probably think something like that, or either that, or it's going to have that fucking Porsche Panamera dog taking a shit look.
Oh yeah,
I don't like that look. That look is bad. That's why
I actually like the Panamera.
That's why when you try to make a 4-door car to look like a coupe, it typically doesn't work because you don't have the headroom in the back. So I don't know.
To me, some cars are meant to have 4 doors. Some cars are meant to have 2, and not the other way around.
I 100% agree. But I'm gonna show you an exception to the rule. Aston Martin did a 4-door version of the DB9 called the Rapide. I mean, that's it.
That's a 4-door?
That's a 4-door car.
Because that looks like a coupe. That does not look like a 4-door.
Exactly.
Well, it's
Aston
definitely,
Martin. Aston Martin hit it out of the park with this car. That's the profile of it. That's the AMR version right there.
That's interesting. From the angle of that one picture, it looked like a coupe.
Oh
I
yeah,
drive that.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
drive
that right there. That looks
That's-
like a coupe right there.
That's the DB9 with 4 doors. That's exactly what it is.
That's pretty impressive.
It's ridiculous. I mean,
Yes.
it doesn't have that arched back look. It still looks like a freaking hatchback,
Right.
but it has 4 doors.
It doesn't look like it's taking a dump in the front yard.
No, absolutely doesn't.
Yeah, that's fine. Y'all can hate on the Panamera all you want. I still want one.
The Panamera is the Panamera is a fine vehicle. It was cheaper than the Aston. It outperformed the Aston Martin, but the look of the car, I just don't like the look of the car. I don't. The Aston Martin looks 10 times better. All right, we're gonna pull away
I
from
agree
this.
with that.
We're gonna pull away from that Corvette abomination.
Yes, thank you.
I got a couple things real quick I wanted to talk about. Well, one thing in specific, there was a death in the industry. I don't know if Dad. I don't know. You've probably heard of this guy. You've been around longer than me. He is known for setting multiple land speed records. Craig.
I know. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, Craig Breedlove.
Yep. Yeah, he drove Spirit of America.
Yeah, he died at 86 years old. This article was a few days ago, but
I did see that.
Yeah, died at 86. Lived a long life. Lived an exciting life. Lived a fast fucking life.
Mm-hmm.
Guy had a set of stones on him like no one's business.
Absolutely.
To be able to strap your ass to basically a rocket.
Absolutely.
And drive that thing and get out of it and say, "Look what I just did." That's some serious stones right there. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So his first world record was 394 miles an hour, and that was set in 1963, which is nuts.
It is. That was hauling ass. I mean, it's hauling ass now, but in '63 with the technology that they had, that was moving.
I got it wrong. The 394 was the current record that was set in 1947, which is even more ridiculous.
Based on the technology they had back then.
Exactly.
That was good for '63, but in the '40s,
so they built a jet-powered machine that cost $250,000, and they were called the Spirit of America, like Dad said.
Yep.
And at 6:25 in the morning, he took it out, and first direction he hit 388 miles an hour in 1963. And then on the way back, he hit 428 miles an hour.
So he more than backed up that record.
So the actual record was 407.45. He destroyed the current record.
Right.
By what is that? 13 seconds or miles an hour. I'm sorry.
Yeah. That's
nuts.
That's a lot.
That's faster than most bullet trains.
That was his first record, mind you. In 1965, they built a Spirit of America Sonic 1. And this thing on November 15th, 65, hit 600.6 miles an hour.
Yeah, that's insane.
And 608.2 on the return run.
Yeah, that's jet aircraft speed.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
That's not speed. That's not sound. That's not the speed of sound yet, but he's really, really getting there.
That's pushing the envelope. Yeah.
Yeah. The average was like 604. So that was the current world record in 65 that he set. Let me see. I think that might be
70.
Nope. I think we got one more, maybe. Yeah, one more. All right. Began working on a new Spirit of America in 1992. They called that one the Formula Shell LSRV, blah, blah, blah. And then in 1996, he stopped accelerating at 675 miles an hour, and a crosswind pushed it out of control. But he managed to stop it, so he didn't die or anything, obviously.
Yeah, right.
But he hit 675 in this fucking thing, and he went on to say that he thought it could hit 800.
I believe it.
800 miles an hour.
I believe it.
All right, there's a video of this is the last car that he set that world or the 675 in, not going to watch this whole video, obviously, but here it is in actual motion. But yeah, I mean, it's a jet with steel wheels bolted to it and a seat.
Yeah. The guy, I'm telling you, man, he had a set of stones on him like no one's business.
Have to. Stone cold. You got to be stone cold to do this.
The guy had ice water in his veins, man.
There it is right here.
Something like that. Yeah, there you go.
That's 675, and then that crosswind blew him off course.
Yeah. That
had to be terrifying.
I imagine that it probably got his heart rate up a little bit.
I would imagine so.
I imagine he pooped his pants. I would have.
There's a good chance of that.
Well, I would hope.
Very good chance.
That when he got in the car, he was at least wearing his damn Depends. I mean, come on.
Man, I would have been.
Strap on the rubber diaper, homie.
I'm telling you, man, 675 and still accelerating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he thought it had a lot more. So
it probably did. He would know.
Well, yeah. And that would have broken the sound barrier for sure.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. Once you get above 700, you're in that territory.
Yeah. Okay, so you guys know the whole prank about blinker fluid, right?
Yes.
About what?
Blinker fluid?
You're talking about, I think I've been reading stuff online. These idiots supposedly can steal a car by doing something with headlights or turn signals or some shit like that.
That I don't know. This is just silly that it's something that I found.
Oh, okay. Must be something different then.
Yes, definitely something different. I haven't seen that, but
there's so much crap out there online. It's just,
and I wouldn't doubt it. You know,
trying to figure out what's legit and what's not is like,
yeah. All right, so for those of you guys that don't know, if you're not in this country or you've never heard the prank, if you go to the parts store with somebody that knows zero about vehicles, and you tell them to go in and buy blinker fluid. Well, they go in and they ask the person at the counter for where's the blinker fluid, and the guy at the counter's in his head, you're fucking dumb.
Well, of course they are.
And then they come back outside all embarrassed because you told them to buy blinker fluid.
Well, that's like telling your mechanic to change the muffler bearings or change the conduiter valve.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Okay, so apparently, I did not know this. There is one vehicle that has actually had blinker fluid.
Got to be a Mercedes with the windshield wiper.
Nope. You'll never guess what it is. I couldn't believe it when I very briefly read the article.
What is it? Something stupid like a Trabant or something like that?
Nope, it's not that.
Is it a GM product?
Nope, it's an American vehicle, but it's not GM.
Really?
It's Dodge.
It is a Dodge, yes.
Dodge. Probably an old school Challenger or Charger.
Nope, it's the Viper.
Seriously?
Apparently, according to this article, the Dodge Viper, the early ones, the mid 90s, had actual blinker fluid.
Okay. My question would be, what the hell was the point without wipers to clean the freaking lens or whatever? What the hell's the point?
Well, I think the blinker itself was filled with fluid.
Really?
I guess maybe to make it shine brighter. Only thing I can think of.
Wow.
But yeah, the earlier Dodge Vipers had blinker fluid, technically, quote unquote.
I bet it didn't have a conduiter valve.
I'm sure it didn't. All right. So what does blinker fluid do?
Good question.
Okay. All right. It was a level to make sure the headlights were installed correctly at the factory.
Oh my God! Are you freaking kidding me?
That's what it was. It was to make sure that the headlight was straight.
Oh Jesus!
Now that it says that, I can tell in that picture right there.
I sure can.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, that's dumb.
It is. It is. That's asinine.
It is. It's dumb.
That's Chrysler for you.
But hey,
how much they pay to have that put in the vehicle? That's how much they charge people for that option.
Oh, there's no telling. Just for the level, there's just for the headlights, probably $2,500.
That sounds like something Chrysler would do.
It is. They're the most ridiculous American brand that there is right now.
Yeah, I can't deny that.
I mean, it is. They're ridiculous. They do the most oddball shit. I'm honestly surprised there's not a Pacifica Hellcat.
They made Hellcat everything else. So
That's what I'm saying. That's
They
exactly
put
what I'm
one
talking
in
about.
a Dodge
They put
Caravan?
the Hellcat in literally everything that they make,
yeah,
except the Pacifica.
right.
And I'm really surprised they haven't done that yet.
Don't give them any ideas.
I know, right?
Come
But yeah,
Don't give them any ideas.
there you go.
That's as
Blink-
bad as a Corvette SUV.
Well, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Or
But yeah,
Camaro SUV.
blinker fluid is a thing, technically.
All right.
All
I'm
right,
not going to AutoZone and asking for it because I don't want them looking at me like I'm fucking stupid.
Well, there you go. I don't want that either for you or myself. All right, so I have a recall real quick. This one's actually pretty ridiculous, especially from the brand that it comes from. Volkswagen is recalling. Let me get the number here. 16,207 of the new ID4 electric SUV. Let me share the screen so you guys know what I'm talking about here. That's their first electric SUV. I've actually driven one. They're fucking weird.
What are they recalling them for? People can't find the gas door?
No. The door, while you're driving, could just randomly pop open.
You talking about a regular car door?
The door, yes, the doors could just randomly pop open while you're driving.
That's automotive 101 is make sure the door latches work. I mean, wow.
The biggest problem with these cars nowadays is everything's electric, everything's electronic, everything's electrically controlled.
Yeah,
What they're saying,
that is a problem.
What they're saying is that water could short circuit the door handle and just pop, it's going to open.
Well, at least it's not catching fire.
While you're driving, though, it could just pop open randomly.
Hey, every now and then you need a good little breeze. Just yank the door shut and call it a day.
I get it. You're probably going to be wearing your seatbelt, and it says at low speeds, so you're not going to fall out of the vehicle. But if that door pops open in traffic, how much damage are you going to do to your vehicle and how many other vehicles before you can get it to stop or shut the door?
Yeah, you're in Depends territory there again.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, 16,000 fucking vehicles there.
That's good God Almighty. I mean,
well, Ford stopped the production of the Lightning because they're during testing they're catching fire.
There you go. Liquid state batteries. I talked about that on the podcast when I was staying with Danny. Solid state batteries are the way to go.
Yeah, they're gonna have to get that kind of stuff under control.
Did none of these companies learn from fucking Fisker when they were spontaneously combusting?
No.
12 years ago?
Obviously not.
Spontaneously combusting too, but Tesla
obviously not.
Really, man? Come on.
I mean, it's 2023. You would think that they would have this half-ass figured out by now. I mean,
really would.
Right?
Yes, you really would.
That's one of many reasons that I'm not even remotely considering an electric vehicle. I mean,
I'm not in the realm of it either. Like, screw that, man.
I'm not either. My dad wants one. He wants the Lyric.
Dad. Speaking of that, George asking,
what is the friends and family discount that GM gives?
It depends on the vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
Right offhand, I couldn't tell you right off the top of my head. The discount is better for family than it is for friends, but it's still decent. My sister just bought a 22 Malibu, Amy in Hawaii.
Yeah.
They still had a 22 on the lot, which shocked me, but she bought that, and I think the discount on that, I want to say it was close to 20%.
Oh, nice.
Shit! That's more than I would have thought.
That's way more than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
It was decent.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, so if you're able to actually find a Lyric at retail, good luck. I'm not sure they're giving discounts on anything like that. There are some vehicles that are exempt from
the discount,
the employee discount.
Okay. All right.
For a while, the Corvette was. For a while, certain models of the Camaro were. At one time, when Cadillac had that one electric
Are
That,
you talking about the ELR?
yeah,
ELR.
yeah, those were exempt, stuff like that. And the Lyric, I don't have any idea if those qualify or not.
Yeah, I don't know.
I believe all the other Cadillac vehicles do, but again, depending on the model and all that kind of stuff, that all the discounts are different. So
Let me when we get off here, George, stay on, and I'll get online and I'll try to pull everything up and see what we can see.
yeah,
So,
it's GM family first.
Okay. All right, yeah, we'll look at that. I remembered you wanted to ask him about that because I have never looked. I've never needed to, so I knew nothing about it. But all right, so these next couple of things are out of China. And before we get into it, I'm not a fan of anything that has come out of China so far.
That's a masterpiece understatement.
They blatantly rip off other manufacturers, and they
All day, every day.
blatantly get away with it.
Oh, they steal everything. It's
Absolutely,
not just cars; they steal everything.
No, I know. They counterfeit everything.
Oh, yeah.
And, okay, so but whatever. Their fucking economy's thriving, so good on them. Whatever. This next thing is a van.
It's someone from Lexus.
It looks a lot like it. It's not a Lexus. It's from China. Remember?
Yeah.
No doubt a ripoff, though.
It's ridiculously ugly.
Oh,
as you can see.
What the hell?
Yeah. Yes.
Actually, kind of like it.
It is called the Denza D9. It is a plug-in hybrid electric vehicle from China. It really resembles the Lexus, Toyota kind of lines. But what I want you guys to focus on is the price. Now that's why I scrolled down really quickly, which you could probably still see it up there at the top. It's going to be a 400 horsepower hybrid, but it's going to cost $65,000.
Okay.
$65,000 for that.
Yikes.
What am I missing?
Well, it depends on what the options are. Like what?
I'm sure it's got, all the modern technology, but look at this fucking thing.
No, the profile isn't bad, and it's not bad from behind, but man, that freaking front end is just flat butt ugly.
Well, I have to agree with you in the rear.
I don't like the rear.
The profile is weird. It's like a
square.
It's like an old what the fuck?
Looks like an old Toyota minivan.
I get more the Nissan Quest in the rear.
Okay, yeah, okay. All right. Yeah, it's a little bit more squared off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then this goofy D-pillar looks like Renault-esque. I don't mind the rear. You're right, Dad. I don't mind the rear. That front. No. Oh, that grill.
Oh, yeah. That is
okay. The interior doesn't look bad.
No.
That front end is freaking butt ugly. I mean,
the front end is probably the worst part of this vehicle. Because that interior is fucking nice.
Yeah.
The seat stitching and then that diamond pattern, the screen, the materials look nice.
Yeah,
everything's laid out fucking clean, man. I like. Okay, all right. I might be wrong.
The back seat, the middle seats look nice and comfortable. Look at those pillows on the headrest.
I might be wrong. Now they nailed the interior on this thing. That is what does it in, though.
Yeah, that's hideous.
That front end's terrible.
The grill's just massive, and that's what's making it horrible. But the headlights look good. The fog lights and turn signals look decent.
The headlights styling and the LED technology, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, that's one thing I like about the LEDs. You can get a lot more creative with the headlights and stuff like that. Yeah. For a vehicle that doesn't have a cooling system, what in the holy hell do you need that kind of a butt ugly front end for? I mean, good God. Clean it up.
It's a hybrid. It's a hybrid, so it's not fully electric. So you do still technically need a grill, just
not
not
one like that.
not 4 tons of grill.
Yeah, no kidding. That's a damn billboard right there. I mean,
Right. I mean, it's
actually a
ridiculous.
billboard for ugly.
Okay, so it doesn't actually
ugly.
it doesn't actually break down what powertrains they are. You know,
Good
4-cylinder,
God.
6-cylinder, whatever. But it comes with 401 horsepower combined, 502 foot-pounds of torque combined. So that's actually a lot. Those are good numbers for a minivan.
Yeah.
That grill, the front end though, makes it look like it would weigh 8,000 pounds. I'm
Right,
sure it
exactly.
doesn't weigh that much, but I mean,
Yeah.
you know, just the appearance of it makes it look like a brick on wheels. It's uglier than hell.
I agree,
Yeah.
100%.
Good God.
It reminds me. It does give me a lot of the Lexus shape of the grill
Yeah,
on their van.
yeah, for sure.
But the Lexus interior to me is not as nice as that interior.
That's saying a lot. That's saying a whole lot. But I have to agree. I mean, the
That's
interior of
saying
this thing, the interior of this thing is actually really, really nice.
Yeah.
I really hate to say that, but it is. It's really nice.
Yeah.
But 65 grand, come on.
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
It's
For a
lot of money.
minivan,
It's
Come
more than that's more than I'd pay, I'll tell you that.
hell yeah. A lot more
Yeah.
than I pay.
Way
I
more
think-
than I pay.
I think a top trim Pacifica is 50 grand. And that's a lot.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Again,
agreed.
more than I'd pay.
It's a nice minivan. I
Well,
will
the
concede.
Sienna though, the Sienna is roughly about 60. The top tier Sienna is roughly about 60.
Well, the Honda Odyssey is they're not cheap anymore either.
No.
You know?
Well, the Japanese have completely taken over the minivan market, so they should be nice.
Well, they took it over basically because the American companies ceded it to them.
Yeah,
With
they
the
gave up. Yeah.
With the exception of Chrysler, everybody else just said, screw it. There's no money in minivans. You know, people aren't buying what we're building, and we're not going to put any more money
Exactly.
into blah, blah, blah. So they just said,
Exactly.
screw it. They can
Exactly.
have that segment of the market. And they
Yeah.
basically gave up.
Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They gave
Yeah,
up,
They
and
did.
then they let a little time go by, and then the city van caught on,
Yeah.
and GM's city van actually does pretty well, but a city van isn't a minivan, or it's not a full size van or a fucking conversion van. A city van is a utilitarian vehicle.
Ford has gone back sort of to the minivan with their new van lines they have now, and with the Mercedes Sprinter van, they're definitely taking over the market for vans.
Right.
Because
Yeah,
the Econoline is gone, and this the GMC Savannah, that's gone. What was it? The Chevy? What was it? The
The Chevy Express, they're not gone.
Express.
They're
But they're
still
not producing them like they used to.
Oh no, for certain.
And they're not making like an ultimate edition. They're not making
No. They're
Southern Comfort edition.
Nope. There,
But-
I think the vans the big vans they make are passenger vans
Uh-huh.
and work vans. They have
Yeah.
2 seats and nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what the
Louis-
Chevy, I think they're made specifically for businesses,
Yes.
like Joe Blow Electric, and they put a bunch of tools and shit in the back, ladders on the top, and
Yeah.
that's basically what vans are for anymore.
I think the Chevy version is that, and then the GMC version is more like passenger van.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
That
still
makes sense.
pretty rare though. You don't see too many, like the Savannah that George mentioned. You don't see too many of those anymore.
No,
You really don't.
No.
All right, so the next one is
I saw one.
huh?
I saw one maybe a few months ago on a Chevy dealership lot. It's like the last one that they were going to ever sell. And it was an
Okay,
Ultimate. I was like, that's beautiful.
Yeah. The conversion vans were actually really nice toward the end of their life. Yeah, they got really nice. All right, so this next thing is really, really strange. It's another Chinese vehicle. It's that Warren Buffett-backed company, BYD. They're coming out with a supercar.
Really?
It's going to be electric, 4 motors, 4-wheel drive, and for some very strange reason, let me pull it up real quick before I get this last detail out to you guys. It's very strange. Like the strange thing is what caught my eye, not the car itself. All right, so let me get down to a picture of the fucking car here. Hang on. If there is a picture. Where's the damn... Hold on. No volume. All right, here's the car. And you see it, like, going up and down like that.
Mhm.
Apparently, this thing can bounce all four wheels off the ground.
Okay, here's
Why
a
would you want
question.
to?
What the hell for?
Yeah, that's my ultimate question. Why?
What
What
is
the
the
hell is the
freaking
point?
Why
point?
would you do that?
I mean, if you're driving a I don't know about anybody else, but if I'm driving a freaking vehicle, I like all the goddamn wheels on the road.
That's typically the best
Just
way to
saying.
drive it.
Just saying. I mean,
Now the
I don't know.
car itself isn't terribly bad looking.
Not at all. No, it's not.
But
It's
why?
stupid
What
reason.
the hell is the suspension doing? I understand raising it for speed bumps and all that bullshit.
yeah, like magnetic.
But look.
Yeah,
It's actually bouncing off the fucking ground.
that's the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
What? All right, I haven't read the article. I want to know why.
That's the dumbest thing I mean, last I heard, when your wheels aren't touching the ground, you have zero control over the vehicle. Just saying.
It says the sport it can dance, jump on all four, and drive with only 3 wheels on the vehicle. Which I have seen a picture of it with one wheel off, and it's not like sitting on the rotor, which I guess is maybe convenient because your lug nuts are probably going to be loose because they're Chinese. But I don't understand the whole like bunny hopping thing.
Yeah, that.
It's a new
I mean,
thing.
as
It's
far as
way
that
back
goes, the Latinos in California have been doing that shit for the last 40 years. So
For a lot cheaper, for probably a lot cheaper than this fucking thing's gonna
Yeah,
be.
and I don't understand what the hell
Well,
the point of
Maybach
that
can do that
is.
too.
I mean,
The Maybach.
It
GLS
doesn't say.
can do
It
that.
doesn't say the purpose. It
They're
doesn't
wrong.
explain why they did that
That's
or why they made it capable of doing it.
and that just makes it 10 times dumber than it already is. I mean,
Just something for us to break
for
and
what it
cost
is,
us
it's-
to fix.
beyond asinine.
There's
I mean,
no
literally.
legitimate. There's no rhyme or reason. There's no real. I'm at a loss. I can't.
I know. How do you legitimize taking the wheels off the road?
I got nothing. Is this like a fucking car show brag thing? Look what my car can do and yours can't.
Yeah,
But
to
it's
that I
also-
would say big deal. I
Yeah,
mean,
The
Look,
Mercedes
who
does it
cares?
too. The Maybach does it. The Maybach will rock like that. And that's they get off the wheels off the ground, but they do rock like that. And the S class does it. The Maybach and their SUV will rock like that. They advertise that it rocks.
No. I get the walking part because all 4 wheels are still on the ground.
yeah, but George is saying that the car rocks, and I get that. Yeah, I get that, but
Yeah.
the wheels off the ground part is what I don't get.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm
I don't
talking
get
about.
that either. But I mean, but I just noticed they rock like that. I'm not sure
Yeah.
they're capable of getting all 4 wheels off the ground at one time. Well, that
Well, I
I'm
would
not
hope
sure.
not. I
No,
would
those
hope
things.
not. I
Those
mean,
things are heavy as shit. You cause a fucking earthquake when you goddamn land.
Well, yeah. I mean, what's a Maybach weigh, about 8,000 pounds or something like that? I mean,
Between
Probably.
6 and 8, probably. I mean, they're fucking gigantic. They're heavy
Yeah.
as shit. They're loaded with fucking equipment.
yeah,
Yeah.
they should be.
Yeah.
I mean,
This thing, I don't know how it's capable of even popping a bunny hop like that. I mean, it's an electric vehicle. It's got to be heavy.
Mhm.
I would think. I'm still at a loss with why the hell you would want your wheels off the ground.
Right.
I mean, that's one of the most ludicrous things I've ever heard of.
if you're sitting still like it is, and then you're bunny hopping the thing just to try to get in some girl's pants, which won't work. Okay, maybe. At least you're trying, but it's stupid. It's the dumbest thing ever.
I can't disagree there. I mean, it
Yeah.
just maybe these companies are running out of shit for their cars to do.
I think it's a sales gimmick.
It might be. It's one of the single dumbest things I've ever heard of in my life. I
I
swear.
agree. I
just-
100% agree.
It's beyond asinine.
I think China's not doing as well as they think they are, but they have enough fucking capital to come out with this stupid ass supercar.
And I'm trying to figure out why the hell somebody like Warren Buffett would hitch his horse to that freaking wagon.
I mean, don't know. I don't know at all.
The guy's got more money than God, but I mean, I thought he was smart when it came to, these companies that he hooked up with. That's just flat out stupid.
This is obviously his first venture into the automotive industry.
Yeah, well,
that's a fucking disaster.
I don't think he picked a winner. I mean,
I don't either.
God almighty.
The curb weight for the Maybach is to be announced.
Oh, there you go. So it's heavy as fuck.
I was going to say, if they can't say, then the some bitch is heavy as hell.
No,
it's probably easily 6,000.
What did it say?
It's probably an underestimation.
Okay, to be announced should be heavy as fuck.
Yeah.
All right. We're gonna switch regions and we're gonna go to Japan for a minute.
Hello.
This one's for you, Georgie boy. The new Lexus LC500.
I'm a huge fan. I think it's gorgeous.
2024 Ultimate Edition.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the pictures are. I haven't actually gone through this yet.
I think it's absolutely gorgeous.
This is a convertible version.
Two-seater. Absolutely. Two-seater.
Yes, it is a two-seat convertible LC500. This is their current flagship.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to ask a stupid question here because I'm old.
Do it.
Are all these vehicles electric?
No.
Okay, thank you.
No.
God,
This one is.
It's nice to know that there's still some internal combustion engine vehicles out there.
Yes.
Thank you.
This is still an ICE, equipped vehicle. Yes.
All right. Good to know. I mean, I'm glad there's still some out there for gasoline.
Yes. Still, there's still making engines. Thankfully.
Yes. So, and you can also get this in a hybrid.
Okay.
I think we were going to get to that, but here's the interior, which I fucking love.
I absolutely love this car.
Holy
I love
shit.
it. It's a gorgeous car.
I'm still not an overly huge fan of that steering wheel, but everything else I like.
Well, the problem with steering wheels is the damn airbag.
I know it limits you with your styling and all
really
that, but
does.
It still just looks bulky. Lose the fucking buttons on the steering wheel, please. I understand the convenience. You're not taking your eyes off the road, but it makes the steering wheel look bulky.
Yeah, some of them are.
Some of them are.
Those three-prong steering wheels, they're just some of them are just so bulky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you remember when Pontiac first started putting the buttons in their steering wheel?
Yeah.
You want to talk about a steering wheel that looks stupid.
Yes,
it looked like a damn typewriter in the middle of the steering wheel.
Oh my God, yes it did.
So many buttons. It was beyond ludicrous how many buttons there were.
Yeah, there were like
talk about overkill.
Yes.
It was stupid. So
well, I think
that was prior to the airbag law.
Yeah.
So they could get away with it technically, but the execution was terrible.
It was stupid.
Yeah, it was awful.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see. Obviously, as you see, the center stacked like an older Lexus, had the smaller fucking nav screen and all that bullshit. This one obviously has a much bigger screen. Everything's digital. There's still some buttons, obviously, but I just like this new layout better than the old layout. It's not 100% driver focused, but it is. Everything is separate from the passenger with that holy shit bar. So I like the driver focus.
The Corvette has a holy shit bar.
Huh?
The Corvette has a holy shit bar.
I know that. I like that.
I don't like that.
I do. Because in a Corvette, you fucking need it. Trust me. I rode in a Corvette with Andy Pilgrim. You need a holy shit bar.
I would say that it truly divides the car.
I know.
It isolates you from
it does, but it doesn't. And in this car, I think they actually did it pretty well. Yeah. The holy shit bar technically does separate it, but it's not like halfway down the fucking center console. So it kind of does separate the driver from the passenger, but not really. So I like the layout of this interior actually.
I like the screens. I like the screen. I like the fact that the vents are huge, so you get plenty of airflow with the top down, so you can get plenty of heat if it's kind of a cooler day outside.
I'm not a fan of convertibles, but I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
And like I
so,
said, this is the ultimate edition trim, so you got all these goofy fins and weird colors and whatever bullshit.
I like the taillights. I think the taillight design is gorgeous.
I don't mind the taillights. I have to admit. If I'm being subjective, I don't mind it.
Now, my thing is the built-in exhaust tips. Are they functional or are they just for looks?
Most likely they're just for look.
So stupid.
Because a lot of times, even like on our shit,
you don't think those are functional?
I mean, they might be attached to the physically attached to the exhaust, but it's not going to do much for the sound.
Oh no, it won't do anything for the sound. I mean,
right.
No.
I have that
similar.
I've got similar to that on my Impala, and it does nothing for the sound.
Yeah.
They're all just for looks.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I think these holes that you're looking at right now are integrated into this diffuser, whatever thing, whatever you want to call it, and then you just have, pipes behind it coming out.
Right.
And that's typically how factory dual exhaust works, unless you're in hypercar territory.
Right.
Then that's legit, 100%. It's all exhaust. There's no cosmetic bullshit. And that's another thing that bothers me about these $100,000+ vehicles. Like, this thing's going to be over $100,000.
Oh, for sure.
Fucking teed. And it has these fake ass bullshit exhaust exits. Like, why?
Yeah.
I understand it looks clean, it looks better, or it could.
Yeah.
But you could make exhaust tips that look exactly like that and actually fucking weld them to the exhaust and actually
melt the plastic.
No, it wouldn't. Those exhaust tips don't get that hot. It would not melt that plastic. 100%. My Camaro had legit dual exhaust. It didn't melt the plastic.
And I think if they were actually flared exhaust tips, they wouldn't touch the plastic anyways. They'd be
that too.
Yeah, they wouldn't touch the plastic. And they could have made that rear fascia or whatever the hell you want to call it. They could have made that out of something heat resistant anyways.
Yeah, carbon, 100,000. All right. I'm not saying make the whole car out of carbon fiber. Make that piece out of carbon fiber. You're not going to burn that. It's carbon.
Right.
So fuck. There's so many other better ways they could have done this exhaust. But overall, I don't mind the look of the vehicle. I need to see the front end because I'm typically not a fan of Lexus front ends.
Yeah.
But everything that we're seeing in these photos, I don't hate.
Yeah.
There are no real numbers performance
I want to
wise.
sit and get rid of that grill that you hate, Bob. Then you're going away from that.
Hourglass I really hope so. That hourglass shaped grill is just terrible. If it wasn't so big, it might not be so bad. But even on the cars, it's just like 3/4 of the front end. And I'm like, that's too much grill, especially on a car.
Agreed.
It's just too much grill.
Agreed. I don't know what the hell they were going for on that, but yeah, that's just...
I don't either. And the overall shape, I mean, that hourglass shape is not a bad shape. They're just too big.
Agreed.
That's my only complaint. That's my complaint, and we're gonna leave it. But
there's from the beginning. So I mean, I can't argue with that.
It's pretty annoying. This article. There's no numbers. No it has a 5-liter V8. Whatever it's gonna have.
Probably don't have a V8.
None of that's in the article, which kind of annoys me. But I know George is a fan, so I wanted to talk about that real quick.
I mean, I've always been a fan of Lexus since early.
I know, and it's fine.
Since like 92, so.
Okay, so these next 4 are all hypercars.
Oh, God.
Actually, 2 of them are hypercars. 2 of them are probably more supercar-ish territory, which one of them definitely is. The other one, Dad, I'm gonna ask you a couple questions about them before we actually get into it, because me and George have talked about it before. The first one is Ferrari's newest hypercar. They are coming out with a successor to the LaFerrari, finally.
Okay.
Which I kind of thought they already had with the Daytona SP3, but I don't guess they consider it the hypercar. I don't know, whatever. But this is their new hypercar. Obviously, camoed the fuck out, so you can't 100% tell what it's going to look like, but
Right.
you kind of can.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it almost looks full blown race right there.
With the wing and
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
all
it
the-
almost looks full blown race car there.
yeah. And this I'm not 100% sure if this is actually what it's going to look like.
It's good rendering, but I don't like it. I like the front end.
It's not their best work. I will definitely admit.
It's like somebody tried to take that camo and try to guess what it might look like underneath. I mean,
I'm sure that's what they did.
yeah. Well, and I'd be willing to bet that that's not even remotely close to what's under that camo.
It's probably not.
Probably not.
The only thing that they got semi-accurate was that giant wing.
The
Yeah.
giant wing.
Well, yeah.
Now, all right. So I haven't read this article. Obviously, I try not to read them. I try to go in blind. George cheats all the time.
I'm going in blind too. Don't you judge me. I'm going to say it gives me that Ferrari F50 kind of vibe with the windshield, the huge windshield with the one wiper blade. I get that kind of vibe from that rendering, but
Yeah, I could see that. Okay, so we actually do have some numbers or possible numbers for this car, at least. No concrete information, but they're definitely not using a V12, which is
That's
unfortunate
stupid.
because Ferrari is known for their V12, and they're phenomenal engines, typically. They're saying that they could either use a 4-liter V8 or a 3-liter V6 with some form of hybrid assist. Obviously, it's going to be a hybrid. That's what the LaFerrari was. They're expecting around 1,000, maybe more horsepower, obviously. Beyond that, there's not really a whole lot of other information, which is pretty annoying, but it's still in the early stages. I mean, it's still camoed on the road, so they're probably keeping as much under wraps as possible
he violated
until they actually have to come out with certain information. I don't know. I mean,
That'll be last minute.
oh yeah, for sure. That'll be like debut day fucking information that they release.
Right.
There's not even any information on when it could be debuted. This was actually back in October of last year that it was suggested that they were going to launch a new hypercar. This photo, I don't know when this was taken. This article was written yesterday, though, so. This is the most up-to-date information on the car that we have, which isn't much, obviously. They're pretty tight-lipped, and Ferrari doesn't fuck around with that. They say an even more potent XX model will arrive before a convertible version. So you're going to have a bunch of different options, I guess, for it. Convertible, an XX Extreme version, your regular quote-unquote version, if you want to call it that. But at least you'll have some options. I'm actually looking forward to seeing what it looks like uncamoed.
Good boy.
But, I mean, for it only to have, and I say only very lightly, they say a little, or what the fuck word did they say? Where is it? Should produce over 1,000 horsepower. Okay. Considering that the LaFerrari, 10 years ago had 980 horsepower? I'm sorry, I need 1,200. I need at least 1,200.
With the technology they have nowadays, that shouldn't be out of the question. I mean,
that's what I mean.
Isn't there something out there that makes 15?
There's the new Hennessy Venom F5 makes 16.
Oh, okay. There's something out there that when they hit 15, everybody was like, "Oh, 1,500." But I mean, technology, 15 is not really out of it. It's not.
Well, with these
out of the ordinary. I mean,
with these Rimac fucking electric hypercars from Croatia, you're talking about 2,000 horsepower.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, the technology, the numbers can be like totally stupid.
Absolutely, they can.
So
they're getting to be that way. It's
right.
It's retarded. So for it only to produce over 1,000 horsepower, again, lightly, going up from 980, it's not a big jump for 10 years of technology. I'm sorry.
No, it really isn't.
It's not. I mean, I want at least 12.
I mean,
Out of a car.
980 was a big number when it first came out.
Yeah.
You're approaching 4 figures.
Absolutely. But that's also hybrid horsepower.
I get that, but still, I mean, with the technology and everything that's out there now, 12, 1500 shouldn't be out of the ordinary. It really should.
I don't think so. I really don't. If this is going to be your flagship car for probably 2 to 3 years, you're not going to make a lot of them, maybe 100 a year.
But that's what I'm saying with the Corvette. Same thing. There's no reason that the Corvette can't do minimum of 1,000 horsepower.
And it's going to, with the full electric.
Yeah, I know.
It's going to be at least 1,000.
A little warm on the lukewarm on the E-Ray, but I will reserve judgment on that.
No, I think the E-Ray is cool in a few different aspects. Okay, so it's the first hybrid, which for the Corvette I'm not 100% a huge fan of, but it's going in that direction. So whatever, I'll do a hybrid before I do electric. I'll say that. And then it's the first all-wheel drive Corvette, so that's cool. And in full electric, in electric only mode, it's the first front-wheel drive Corvette.
Are you talking about the hybrid Corvette?
Yeah, the E-Ray.
E-Ray.
You can actually drive a Corvette using only the front wheels.
See, I just assume that Chevrolet leave the Corvette alone as far as that goes, especially full electric. I wish they wouldn't do that. If you want to do that, do it to the Camaro.
I'd be on board with that.
Yes, I'd be on board with that.
Do it to the Camaro. I mean, I hate that the Camaro's kind of in limbo right now anyways.
Oh, it's done. The Camaro's
done. Camaro's done.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, if you're going to play around with stuff like that, do it with a vehicle like the Camaro. Because I still think that there's a market for the Camaro, but the way everything is going with the electric and the hybrid and all that bullshit, do that with the Camaro. Leave the goddamn Corvette alone. Stop with that shit.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue that. Not at all.
I mean,
that's
not going to argue. I'm with you. So my thing with the Camaro is the issue with the Camaro, the biggest issue is the 6th generation lived too long. It lived from 16 to 23.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna attempt to disagree. 100%. I'm 100% right there with you.
It's the best generation of the Camaro. Don't get me wrong.
Agreed.
That's the one I had. But when they redesigned it in 2019, they didn't upgrade the look. They downgraded the look. It was still technical.
I loved almost all generations of the Camaro. I really did. I think the first gen, when they first brought the Camaro back, I thought that was honestly the best, most accurately rendering of a modernization of the old Camaro from like 69, 70, 71. I thought that was probably the best looking rendering. And then they kind of went downhill with it after the taillights. And in the front fascia, the headlights, I don't know where the hell they were going with the headlights, but I think that was the first one. I'd take an 08, 09, 010, I think it was a 10.
Yeah, they brought it back. They brought it back in 2010.
Yeah.
I think if they would have kept the early version of the grille and combined it with the later edition of the rear end, because I like the taillights. I like the taillights on the modern, the current version. I love the taillight. We were behind. We went to Saginaw this afternoon, and we were behind a Camaro convertible. They had the top down. Good day for the top down. And I mean, the back end of this car was spectacular. It was a beautiful, beautiful, well done rear end.
Absolutely, yes.
And if they would have done that rear end with the front end, like what George said, maybe the first couple years when the Camaro came back, I think that would have been like the ultimate Camaro design.
Okay. Yes. Okay. You're talking about with the rear end. You're talking about with the 4 ovals.
Yep.
Yeah.
See, I don't like that. That's the rear end I don't like.
I love that rear. I think that's the best looking rear end they had.
I agree. I think it is. I think it is. I didn't mind the rectangular lights. I didn't mind those, the first year, the 8, 9, 10, those, I didn't care for the rear end on that car. I think it was like a lot of the rear ends on GM cars when they first come out. It's kind of an afterthought.
Yes, exactly. That's
And
exactly what I was gonna say.
after a vehicle's been out for a couple of years, then someone goes in a design lab and says, "Hey, assholes, fix the back end on this car. The rest of the car looks great. What the hell are you doing?
Well,
fix
see,
the rear
okay.
end." And then someone takes a look at the car and they go, "Wow, this looks like shit. We got to fix this." And they do.
Look at that.
And I think they did that with the Camaro. Same thing.
Well, with the fifth generation, which was the 2010 to 15, they did a mid-cycle kind of refresh.
Yeah, they did.
And that refresh again didn't do it justice. The previous 3 years looked much better. I agree with the front end, the grille, the headlights, everything on the front end of those earlier Camaros looked perfectly right. And then when they went 14, 15, they did that mid-cycle refresh.
Yeah.
It didn't really look like a Camaro anymore, which, the whole evolution thing, that's fine. But I think they just went a little bit too far away from the look.
Agreed. Especially with the front end.
Yes. And then when they went to the 6th gen in 16, which was the exact same car I had, they updated the front end to make it look so much better. The whole the hood design was different. It had those bulges like the I think it was it like the 70s Camaros. They had those fucking bulges over the front tires.
Yeah.
They kind of brought that look back. And then I just like that rear end better than all of the other Camaro rear ends. I don't know.
I would be curious too
I'll tell you
if they decided that they wanted to do something with the Camaro. It's like what they did with the original Camaro. They had the Gen 1, and then in 1970 they came out with a second generation.
Right.
And the split bumper Camaro was a 70 and a half.
Right.
You talk about an iconic vehicle. And I would love to see what they could do with something similar to that in 2023 or 2024. I
don't think it would work. Because back then the bumper was the bumper. That was the actual bumper.
Right.
Now the bumper is underneath a very cosmetic piece of plastic.
Yeah, I get that too.
So,
but I mean, I still think there would be a way around that where they could come up with a 2024 split bumper Camaro and make that electric.
I mean, if they could pull off the design and make it like, like George said, just a modern version of the 70s split bumper.
Yeah.
And then put that Hummer powertrain underneath it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, the air's a little thinner.
I don't know. Wouldn't that be a longer wheelbase though? It seems like that'd be a longer wheelbase.
I don't know. Those old Firebirds, they're fucking long as shit.
Yeah, I don't know.
Probably not quite that long. I mean, you maybe not the exact powertrain, but shorten the battery pack. Maybe make 800 horsepower, 8,000 foot-pounds of torque.
Yeah, I'll call you with that.
That's still fucking ridiculous.
Well, yeah, in a car that small, probably you'd be able to make it light enough where, yeah.
I mean, with that battery
pack. Sorry, my dad called.
That's definitely going to take the slack out of your shorts for sure.
Yeah. No, we're talking about. We're just talking about the Camaro still, and my dad, he was talking about wanting to see a modern 70s split bumper Camaro.
I would see a modern T-top Camaro, but hey, beggars can't be choosers.
Well, that actually has been done in the aftermarket.
Screw aftermarket. I want from the factory.
No, I know.
We're not going to bring back the Firebird. As much as I'd love them to bring back the Firebird because of this body style, the size of it, I think the Firebird would be gorgeous.
You're never gonna see a Pontiac brand new ever again. You're never gonna see an Oldsmobile brand new ever again because they didn't make money in their later life.
I think they did make money, but they had to make sacrifices. And
no, they didn't. That's why they axed
Hummer was
Pontiac.
making money, but that's what they axed it too.
No, they axed Pontiac, they axed Oldsmobile, they axed Saturn, they axed Hummer, they axed Opel, they axed Saab.
Thank God.
Vauxhall.
Yeah, Vauxhall.
Holden's
Holden was another one they fucking just completely shit on.
Yeah.
They cut their fucking losses, bro, and those were the
Cut
brands.
Buick. I would have cut Buick and kept Pontiac. I really would have. I didn't think.
Buick's been around longer.
Well, and the problem with keeping Pontiac as opposed to Buick is Pontiac was too close to Chevrolet.
Okay.
And but you're not wrong, because to me Buick is too close to Cadillac.
It is.
So maybe split the difference and keep Chevrolet, keep Cadillac, and slap Oldsmobile in the middle.
Yes.
Oldsmobile, to me, Oldsmobile was kind of like the redheaded stepchild.
It really was.
I agree.
It was an old man's car.
Oh, for sure.
But now I don't think even I would drive a Cadillac, and I'm an old man. So
Mom's got a CT5, and honestly, she's got that little 2-liter turbo, and it's okay.
I drove it. It's not bad.
I think that it needs a V6 under the hood of that vehicle.
I think that General Motors has gone too much to these dinky little 4-cylinders, but they justify it by going, "Oh, but it has a turbo." You know what? Keep your fucking turbo. I don't give a crap.
Turbo's this big.
That's what I'm saying.
It's that big.
There is no substitute for horsepower, and a turbo this friggin' big isn't going to get you shit for horsepower. So stuff your turbo. If you want to put a little dinky ass 4-cylinder, put a damn supercharger on it.
Yeah.
I mean,
I agree. I think
just put a bigger fucking turbo on it, and if you want to give
Honda's got
it
a turbo on it, and it produces 252 horses. Okay, and it's okay for that is a lighter vehicle, and it's quick. I give it that.
All right,
but I think the Cadillac is a little bit bigger than my Honda, and it weighs a little bit more. So
agreed. And you are not wrong about the V6. You are absolutely not wrong about the V6. At the very least, it should have the V6 that the ATS had in it, because you were pushing 310, normally aspirated.
No. That was a 335 horsepower V6.
Oh, was that high?
Yep.
Still, normally aspirated. Yeah, normally aspirated. 335. So that, to me, that's honest horsepower.
Yeah.
335 honest horsepower, because it's normally aspirated.
Yeah,
if you want to put a small turbo on that, okay, you might get it up to 375. And I mean, that freaking ATS was a rocket at 335.
So you want to talk about turbocharging a V6? Jay Leno actually took an early Camaro V6 and put 2 turbos on it, and it was making the exact same horsepower as the V8.
Yeah, I believe that.
But the weight, the power to weight ratio was better in the V6.
Of course, it's going to be
right.
That's a lot less. It's a lot less cast iron underneath that hood.
Yeah, so it was actually better to buy the V6, throw 2 turbos on it, than to buy the fucking the V8.
Yeah.
Would it be cost effective to do that?
And
probably not. But whatever.
Yeah, I'd much rather have a V6 and slap 2 turbos on it.
Next hypercar is coming from Porsche. They're considering it. Now, obviously, Porsche hasn't made a hypercar since the 918 Spider, which was 2018.
Yeah.
So it's been 5 years since they had a legit hypercar. This one's going to be a hybrid as well. It actually, I don't know if the picture is what the car is actually going to look like, but if it is, I don't know if I like it. That's the car.
That's boy.
I don't know, man.
It's a little. That's a little too cab forward for me.
Yeah. It's like the front end's way short.
Yeah, that doesn't have much of a front end. That's what I'm saying. It's a little too cab forward for me. I don't see how the balance of that car would be that great.
Yeah, the aerodynamics aren't great. Well, maybe we could be completely fucking wrong.
Yeah,
we're not engineers or anything, but just the look alone is weird.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan.
I'm not either. Like I said, I don't know if this is what the actual car is going to look like. This is from 2 days ago, so it's current, but
I like the wheels.
the wheels are fine.
When they're offset dramatically.
Yeah, for
Those
sure.
back tires look wide as crap.
There's the back of the car. Okay, this is not what the car is going to be. This car is actually from 2017, and this is the 919 street version of the race car. So this is absolutely not what it's going to look like.
Okay.
Okay. Whew, thank God.
Yes. Well, I don't disagree. Okay. So
Easy there, George. Everything's going to be fine.
Yeah, it's gonna be fine now. It's good. I'm say what the. Somebody, Cole. I'm going back to school to become an engineer so I can design a proper vehicle. What the? Oh God.
All right. I'm trying to see.
While you're trying to figure this out, I am in the market for a 2019 to 2020 Cadillac CT6. I want the twin turbo V6. I want the 3.0 twin turbo.
See, now I want that, but I want the V8. I want the 400 V8.
See, I don't want a platinum. I just don't need a platinum. I don't need the TVs in the back seat. But the sport's perfect for me.
Dad, the V8.
I love the CT6. I think that's one of the nicest cars Cadillac ever designed. I really do.
Ever designed. Yeah.
Love that car. Love it. Love it. Love it.
The Blackwing, Dad, the one you're talking about, the Blackwing has a.
Oh yeah, that's yeah.
They have a black one. It's a 450 horses, but they also have a twin turbo V8 that's only 500
It's
horses.
a 4.4 twin turbo.
Yeah.
Yes.
550 horsepower.
That's the Blackwing V, but
all-wheel drive. Yeah, that's the Blackwing.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Twin turbo
That's
V8.
4.2. That's right, 4.2.
I have a lot of trouble with the 305 horsepower in my freaking Impala not getting in trouble. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
But the last thing I need is 550 horsepower under my freaking left or my right foot. I mean,
that's the only reason I won't get a V because Hunter's got a
Actually, you're not wrong there, Dad.
I mean, good God.
I just can't afford a ticket.
You got in trouble. You got in trouble in your 4-cylinder S10, my friend.
Well, yeah, I know.
Yeah, okay. Look at that. I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah.
I get in trouble. I got in trouble in my Denali. I got in trouble. I got pulled over. Whoop to do. I have a heavy foot too, but Hunter's got a heavier foot than I do, and to give him this twin turbo V6, I'm scared because I'm going through tires like crazy.
Yep.
But it's gonna be my daily driver, not his. He got the Honda. He got what he wanted. He got a little Honda Accord with a twin turbo, 2.0 liter twin turbo engine, whatever it is. He's got what he wants. I want something bigger because I like a full size sedan. I'm tired of being.
Agreed.
I've been in full.
I'm right there with you. To me, the bigger the car, the better.
Yeah, I feel safer. And plus, the new ones are just aesthetically pleasing. The tail lights are consistent with the modern day looking of a Cadillac.
Right.
There's the slick headlights, the straight daytime running light bars. It's gorgeous. It's got the power. It's got the pickup. It's got everything that I can need in a vehicle that will.
I love everything about the CT6. I really do. Yes. I love everything about it. The first time I saw that car, it was like one day I'm gonna own one of those cars.
Right.
When it first hit the market, I still liked it. I'm not gonna say I didn't like it, but I like the later versions better.
Yeah,
they updated the grill, they updated the headlights, they upgraded the taillights. It's just a better looking car, and the interior isn't the most modern, but holy balls,
it's comfortable.
It's fucking nice, man.
Yeah. So that's what I'm in the market for. Is my next vehicle.
I wouldn't mind getting back into a Cadillac. I miss mine.
I hear you.
So that's what I want, and that's what I'm just set on. I test drove tons and tons of vehicles, trying to figure out from Lexus, Mercedes, Audi. That Cadillac was the best thing I drove. Now, if I can't get one, my next option would be to have a Lexus LS 500.
Well, they're out there, George. You just got to find. You just got to find what it is that you want. You know, it'll take a little bit of patience, a little bit of time, but you'll be able to find. You will find what you want.
Yeah.
Typically, I'm patient. That's the thing. I'm patient. I'm constantly looking to see what's out there, what's constantly coming to the market, used
Right.
car wise, and I will eventually find one that I can afford and it's in my
You
price
will.
range. I don't care about the mileage so much as what's in it because I'm gonna completely overhaul it underneath it anyway from when I first get it, from spark plugs, flushes, brakes, all that stuff's gonna get completely redone,
Right.
and I'll have a brand new, fresh running engine. Probably change some timing changer if there's one, or belts if there need be, because I don't want to take the chance of that breaking.
Right.
But I'm going to do
All right.
all that overhaul when I first get it, and that way I know from then forward they'll be well taken care of. Because Hunter's OCD about oil changes every 2,000 miles. He's OCD about it. But he's
2,000.
very hard.
2,000.
Well, he's very
Wasting
hard on
money.
engines. He's
He's
very
wasting
hard
his
on
money.
engines.
You could be as
Wow.
hard as you could be pretty fucking hard on these engines these days. You don't need to change it in 2,000 miles. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean,
And then
Especially if
he's-
you're using synthetic, which you should be, being a
he
turbo.
is.
well,
Oh, he
I
is.
put
You
yeah.
definitely don't.
I switch both my cars over to synthetic, and I change the oil once a year.
Yeah, you don't need to change it that often.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, I just did her car, and it had 8,000 miles on it, and that was in 1 year.
Yeah. Well,
My car
Right.
is due only because it's been a year, but
Did
it's
yours
only
have,
been about
like-
4,500.
No, I was gonna say 50.
So
You non-driving ass.
We,
All right, back to the Porsche. Back to the Porsche real quick. Then we'll move on to the last one, which I'm interested in my dad seeing this thing.
Okay.
Okay, so recently they considered a new flagship with a flat 8 twin turbo 5-liter V8 that only made 750 horsepower though. Yes, I said really, or I mean only. Yes, I said only. Don't confuse me, you fucker. But why would you? Why? Okay, so why would you go from one flagship to another, but drop 250 almost horsepower?
yeah, it doesn't make. I mean, if it's a flagship, you need to be going up.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's what it's
Yes.
going to be. It's going to be their flagship vehicle because right now their most ridiculous car that they make is the GT3 RS. That car is what, 300 grand. I mean, this thing, if this is going to be your legitimate 918 Spider successor, which was your flagship at the time, this is still going to be a hybrid. Why would you decrease horsepower almost 250?
Yeah, that's doesn't make sense.
It needs to go up 250.
Yeah,
At least.
that's a backward step.
That's stupid. It doesn't make sense.
You can't call that your flagship if you're doing that.
Well, you can because you're not producing the 918 anymore. But
Yeah, but I mean, if
definitely
you're gonna reduce performance by that much, how the hell do you make that a flagship? I mean, that's
right, you're right. It's stupid.
Yeah, it is.
Well, that one didn't make the cut. Obviously, they didn't build it because it was 6 years ago. So they are actually currently reconsidering bringing something to market. Hybrid, obviously, probably with a V8, but it's all speculation at this point. I found the Lamborghini or the Ferrari thing, the Lamborghini thing last week, which I actually have an update on the Vuelto, whatever the fucking Aventador successor. There is a current rendering of an SVJ version, which actually looks really fucking good. Dad, if you haven't heard about the Vuelto, it's going to be Lamborghini's first hybrid.
okay.
All-wheel drive. It's still going to have a V12. But like I said, hybrid technology. They're estimating just over 1,000 horsepower.
I would hope that would have at least that much, especially
Yes.
the V12.
Yes. They say the V12 alone is like over 800,
Yeah,
which is incredible.
well, it should be.
Yes, I agree. Since George has already seen this, I'm just gonna go ahead and show it to you. This isn't the best video, but this is the only video I could find of the SVJ. I don't know if you could see it too well. That's the overall car.
I actually think I've seen these pictures.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I've seen these pictures.
You've probably seen the regular car,
Could be.
but this is like this. I found this today, so I don't know how old this video is, but it's pretty ridiculous. over the regular version. I mean, like that giant wing in the back, the overly aggressive body, the body kit. I mean, pretty radical.
Yeah, well, and that's what basically what Lambo's known for, though.
And I'm glad that they're getting.
They push the envelope as far. They always have. I mean, it started with the Countach.
Well, the Countach, yes, the Countach started the overly radical design and the raucousness of Lamborghini. But once Volkswagen kind of bought them and took them over, they kind of, I don't want to say dumbed them down.
I think that's exactly what they did, and I think
more corporate.
I think it was because of cost than anything else.
Yes.
And, shame on for these mass production companies like Volkswagen for buying. It's just like what Ford did with Jaguar. Same stupid shit.
And Range Rover.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, God, don't even get me started on that.
Well, my whole point is that I'm just glad that they're getting back to their roots.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Of the late 80s.
When I was in high school, 16, 17, the Countach was the car that I aspired to.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to look at that car in what the hell's the magazine you got for me, Bob?
Oh, DuPont Registry.
Yeah. I'd buy that magazine off the newsstand, and I mean, it was Countach, Mercedes SL300 Gull Wings, all those kind of cars.
Yeah.
I mean, those were freaking phenomenal, classic. And the adjectives just add up when it comes to those kind of cars.
Well, yes.
They were state of the art at that time, the SL300 that's back in the 50s. But
we know exactly what you're talking about and what you mean. They're innovative, they're different, they're revolutionary. They fucking changed. They changed the fucking game.
And the thing is, those cars were only 20 years old when I was in high school.
Right.
The Mercedes. Now the Countach, those were modern vehicles at that time.
Well, yeah, they were in their infancy when you were.
They were. They absolutely were. And I mean, back then you could get a Countach for about $30,000. But
back then, that's a lot of money.
$30,000 was a lot of money back then. It's like 200 is now. So
now, if you can find a Countach for sale, the later anniversary editions, you're looking at probably $250,000.
Oh, easy,
at least I would say.
Yeah,
but my whole point is that when the Gallardo came out, that was your garden variety, mass produced Volkswagen Lamborghini.
Yeah.
That's what the fuck it was.
Yes.
They were nice cars.
They
weren't bad. They didn't have Lamborghini doors, and they didn't have a fucking V12.
Right. There was nothing special about them.
They really weren't.
No,
they really weren't
special about them.
They were over glorified fucking Audi R8s.
The only thing you could say is that you had a Lamborghini.
That's exactly right. You were buying the name at that point.
Yeah, that's all you could say.
They got too corporate.
Yeah, well, that's
exactly what it was.
That's what happens when these mammoth mass production companies buy these niche companies like Lambo and stuff like that. They destroy them. They gut these companies.
And that's where I hope that Rimac buying Bugatti from Volkswagen, which, by the way, they still own a portion of.
As long as they're not a majority owner, that'll help.
They're definitely not. I really, really hope. Obviously, they're going to go fully electric because that's what Rimac does, and they do it very, very well. I just hope that they don't take away from the heritage of Bugatti. Keep the fucking name. Keep that arch grille. Just keep the cars the way they should be. Just use your technology.
Well, agreed. I mean,
they don't need to make a fucking SUV. No Bugatti SUV, damn it.
Why they haven't made an SUV.
I know. I'm just saying. No Bugatti SUV. And I actually think that the CEO has said that they'll never make an SUV.
Well, I hope he hates him as much as I do, because if he does, there won't be one.
I agree, because every rendering of a Bugatti SUV I've seen is terrible.
It's got to be. I mean, how the hell do you make a Bugatti SUV with the front end of the Veyron?
Exactly.
How do you do that?
Yeah.
I mean, that thing's going to look like it's sucking a lemon. For granted, it's going to look like the old Edsel. You know, come on, seriously. How the hell?
That's a very apt description of what it would look like.
Yes.
There you
All
go.
right. So, Dad, I got to ask you a couple questions. There is a new supercar coming to the market. I don't know if it's going to be worldwide or what markets it's going to be sold in, but we've talked about this a couple times on the podcast. If you had to guess, what country or what group specifically would make a supercar that isn't currently making a supercar, just take a wild fucking guess where this car comes from.
Jesus, I'm gonna say Russia.
Actually, there is one that we have talked about that came from Russia, and it's actually pretty fucking wicked. But no, I'm not talking about Russia. This one's different. I'll give you I'll narrow it down. It's Middle East.
Let's see. The Saudis, they buy all their shit.
Pretty much, yeah.
I think they're too cheap to come up with their own. So I would, probably out of freaking left field, I would say Libya or something like that.
Oh man, you are pretty damn close if you're not spot on. The Taliban is actually making a supercar.
Okay, Taliban is closer. That's more Afghanistan, but that's you talk about out in freaking left field. Holy crap!
Right.
Yeah.
I asked Sergio and George this when I first actually found this fucking thing, and
I can't believe that somebody from Sandland is actually going to make a freaking supercar.
Okay, the look of the car. I'm going to show it right. I'm going to show it to you right now. All right, that's the car. It's not bad. It's not a bad looking car.
Yeah, the front end's a little sketchy. I like the profile, but
Give me Aston Martin.
the front end is a little sketchy.
Front end's not great. I will concede.
It gives me
But
Aston Martin.
the overall shape, the profile, like George said, not bad at all.
The back end from the doors back, I think they stole some of that from the freaking Bugatti.
And Corvette.
Yeah, a little bit.
I'm sure they pillaged designs from other marks. It happens. It happens.
The Chinese do it, so why the hell can't the Afghanis? I mean,
exactly.
Oh my God.
All right. I don't know if there are any other photos. This is kind of them like going through the design process. Blah blah.
Yeah,
blah.
well, they need to work that front end a lot. It looks like someone hit it with an ugly stick.
Yeah, it doesn't. I'm trying to see if there's a rear photo. I might have to Google some more photos because I want you to see the entire car all the way around. But okay, here's a kind of a profile of two terrorists.
Yeah. No, that's hideous. There looks like somebody took a freaking bread knife to the front end and just cut it off.
The front.
Oh, wow, that's
well,
horrible.
the biggest problem in this view of the front end is the diffuser in the front comes out way further than the actual like hood grill area.
Yeah, well, it looks like a freaking cow catcher on a locomotive. For crap.
It looks like Bubba from motherfucking Forrest Gump.
That's wow.
Shrimp gumbo. Shrimp cocktail.
Better tuck that in and get it caught on a tripwire. Motherfucker. Here's kind of a computer generation kind of view of it.
Okay.
I think it's the angle they're taking these photos at to hide that diffuser.
Yeah, I don't like.
Okay, this might actually show the whole.
I don't like the
car.
front end. I do not like the front end.
This might actually show the entire car, like all the way around.
Louis,
Yeah,
you have
it
punched
might.
my leg this entire night.
Yeah,
Oh
it
my
might,
God.
even though I'm buffering.
I do not like that front end. I do not like it, Sam. I am.
All right, green eggs and ham.
That is no.
No.
God, no, that's butt ugly right there.
This car was designed by 30 engineers as well, by the way.
Yeah, well, it's looked like it was designed by 30 train engineers because that front end is hideous.
It's not good.
It's not good.
There's one in white. I don't know.
It,
All right,
it
so-
looks incomplete.
So the most ridiculous thing about this car, all right, just looking at it. Obviously, it's mid-engine. Obviously, it's meant to be a supercar. So, George, don't fucking comment because you already know.
Ugh.
Dad,
Fine.
Guess the powertrain that this car has in it. Just based on the look.
Well, I would hope that it would have at least a V8. But
Okay.
I mean, if you're going to make a car that's got any kind of freaking stones at all, it should have at least a V12 in it.
I'm not going to argue with either. I would even be happy if this was an electric supercar because it has kind of that look.
Well, I know that's what they were going for, but from like the front wheels back, I would say, yeah, supercar. But
Right.
from the middle of the front wheels forward, I would say dump truck.
Oh my God.
I mean, come on, seriously? What the shit?
All right. Okay. You said at least a V8, preferably a V12. This motherfucker has a Toyota Corolla engine in it.
Are you shitting me?
Nope. Not even a fucking little bit.
That's the best they could do as a Toyota engine?
Toyota Corolla engine. It's not a 2JZ. It's not the new Supra engine.
That's a step up. That's only a step up from a lawnmower engine, for shit's sake. I mean,
Precisely.
come on.
Yes.
Jeez Louise.
Toyota Corolla. They want it to be electric. That's their ambition. They want to make it an electric supercar.
Then make it electric. Make it electric. Why the hell would you put a friggin' Toyota engine in it?
All they could muster.
Judas.
I'm not even sure if this car has actually made production. I don't know. I don't know all of that.
Well, if it took them 30 designers to 30 engineers to make this thing, I mean,
this car that you're seeing drive down the street has a Toyota Corolla 4-cylinder in it.
What a piece of shit.
But they say that it has been modified to make more power.
Okay, so instead of 150, it makes 175. Gee, give me a break.
Probably. That's the fucking Taliban for you, bro.
Yeah, well, that just shows how stupid they are.
That speaks fucking volumes. The car could be good. It has potential. But no, they're dropping the fucking ball big time. Yep, Toyota 4-cylinder.
Pass.
It's a piece of shit. But it's not the worst looking vehicle that has ever been produced, though.
Oh God, not even close.
By far, it's not.
It's approaching that territory.
All right, so you want to talk about Russia real quick? I will show you the car. Not that one. It's the B2. B1 sucks. B2 is actually pretty fucking wicked. All right, George, I'm showing Dad the Russian supercar.
I kind of like that.
That's a bad bitch.
Yeah.
And it has a proper powertrain.
It's not terrible
for Russia though.
I like the shape. I'm a little bit lukewarm on whatever the hell that is in the center of the freaking front end. It almost looks like it
looks like a transformer.
Well, it looks like a freaking old man with one tooth.
Oh my God, I'm so done. Dad just ruined the car.
I didn't see exactly what you were talking about. Yeah, the heart.
You just ruined the car for me, Dad. Thanks. You got yes. With no fucking teeth.
That one tooth's holding on for its fucking life.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
The overall shape isn't bad, but
it looks like a fucking transformer to me.
They gotta fix that front end.
All right, so
give it some dentures.
Some numbers. If we're going to talk about this thing for a moment. $280,000. 2.8 liter twin turbocharged V6, 420 horsepower, 0 to 60 in 3.8, and top speed's a joke at 155.
For 280,000, I want more than 420 ponies.
That too, yes.
Sorry, but
especially out of a twin turbo V6 with current technology,
over $250,000. It better be pushing minimum of 500, and it better be closer to 7. Sorry,
if I want 500,
I would say
5.0.
I would just basing it off the current 4GT 3.6 liter twin turbo. That thing makes 660.
Okay, right for 280,000. Yeah, I would settle for that.
Well, for 280, considering
280,000, 420 horsepower, that's weak.
Still considering the 4GT, that was $400,000 brand new.
Yeah, well,
so you're undercutting it by 120,000.
Right.
you have a slightly smaller V6, but with twin turbos. If you have the current technology, factoring in all of that, between 5 and 550, I would think would be feasible.
Yes.
And then you cut.
I would
for the money.
Yeah, I could see that for the money. I think the Ford GT I think is still overpriced. But
it's far fucking
400 grand. I mean, that was anybody that paid 400 grand for that car had more money than brains.
Well, the idiots now are paying $2 million for the fucking.
Well, that's because they're stupid.
Well, those people are absolutely fucking brain damaged.
Well, yeah, they have more money than brains. You know,
all right.
That's what happens when you give stupid people money.
Yes, absolutely, 100% agree. Okay, so this next thing, George actually, I'm going to show you what George sent us last week, and we are going to talk about what I found this week. It's along the same lines. It's actually still hot cars. It's another rendering of a 90s car that could be made modern. It's definitely not going to be, but this is what George sent us last week. We talked about what a current Buick Grand National, Buick GNX,
I think Go ahead.
Look like.
I think I've seen this.
You probably have.
Yeah, I have.
Okay. What the fuck, man? It's ridiculous. A modern GNX that looks like this. Holy shit.
They could name their price for that car.
Absolutely.
They could name their price, and I guarantee you, all the orders they took, they'd probably sell that car out in hours.
Literally, Buick.
Yep.
All you have to do.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Build 100 of them. Charge $100,000. Put the supercharged 6.2 from the C7 ZR1 under that hood, but make it all-wheel drive. You'll sell every fucking one of them.
Oh, easy. I mean, if all you're making is 100
in 10 minutes, it'll sell out.
Yeah,
it'll sell out in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Your true gearhead, your true car.
Look at it. Look at it. Make it a 2+2. Obviously, it's going to be a waste of fucking space, but it's not going to be a 2-seat car. It's too big.
Yeah. Well, it shouldn't be a 2-seat car.
Agreed.
Because the original GNX, it was a 2-door, but it was not a 2-seat car.
Right. It was a 5-seat car. It was a fucking Buick Regal on steroids. That's what it was. Please, T-tops. Make T-tops an option, please.
Yeah, agreed.
Please,
agreed.
Just an option. Make 90 of them coupes. Make 10 T-tops. Just make 10 of them.
Well, yeah,
and not another 50,000 for the
T-top. Make 10 of them.
Yeah,
I don't care. I want to see a current GNX. Oh my God! Look. Oh.
There you go.
Oh,
yep. There you go.
I have a car boner right
now. Somebody did a rendering not too long ago of what a modern Chevelle would look like too, and it was actually pretty friggin' nice.
Now,
if you go modern, you want to emulate the LS6 or the LS7 from that generation. That's what you want to emulate.
Of course.
You know.
Yeah.
And that car, if it doesn't have a minimum of 500 horsepower, don't even waste your time.
Yeah, you're wasting your time.
Yeah, don't even go there.
You're talking about somebody that did a modern rendering of the Chevelle. Well, there is an aftermarket company that will actually take your Camaro and make it look like a modern Chevelle.
Yeah, I've seen those too.
But it has to be a convertible for fucking some stupid ass reason.
Really?
They only make them out of the convertibles. I don't get why.
I don't understand.
I wouldn't even want one. The Chevelle was not a convertible, ever.
Well,
the earlier ones were.
They did make in the early 70s. They did make Chevelle convertibles. They're actually pretty rare, but they did make them.
Fuck those.
I have to believe that this company. The only reason that this company is doing that is because they can't emulate, or they can't come close enough to the Chevelle profile with the current Camaro body style.
They cannot.
So the only way that they can make it actually look more like a Chevelle is to cut the top off the Camaro.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
probably
Because-
why they're only doing the convertible.
Because those 70 Chevelles kind of had that fastback look.
Yeah, more so
You
than
can't-
the Camaro. They're
Right,
two
and
totally
you're
different-
not going to get that.
No, they're two totally different profiles.
Yeah.
And the only way for them to match the Chevelle
Yep.
closer is with the convertible. Because once
Now
you put
that-
the top down, you lose that whole Camaro profile.
Yep. Now that you say
they-
that, it makes
right.
that makes
So
the most,
that's probably why they're doing it
Yep.
that way.
that makes the most perfect sense. Yeah.
That-
All right.
that-
So this next one is again from Hot Cars, same website, but it's a Cadillac.
Bring it on. I love me some
Is
Cadillac.
it the one I shared to you?
No, I shared it to you.
Oh,
Good night.
I thought I shared-
I don't remember. We share so much bullshit to each
we
other. I
do,
don't
we
remember.
do.
It's
Swear.
the El Dorado
Oh, bring it on. I love me an Eldorado.
from the 90s, though.
I don't care.
Okay. So this is their version, their take on what a modern El Dorado could look like.
Bring it on.
I really don't know that I agree.
That does not look like an Eldorado to me.
It
That-
does, but it doesn't. Not in the
No,
front. Not in
that
the front for
Front's
sure.
way too
No.
long.
That's
The
not an
front for
Eldorado.
sure.
No.
That's
That
an
looks
Eldorado.
to me that favors a Seville more than an Eldorado.
Yes.
In the front, absolutely. But the rear is El Dorado. You can't deny the rear.
Yeah, no. I'd agree with you there. But to
The front
me,
for sure.
yes.
Yes.
It's got more of an Eldorado rear end. But to me, it favors a Seville more than an Eldorado.
In the front,
centers
I
give me,
absolutely agree.
Elante.
Yes.
The center gives me Elante, the squareness of those windows. It says Elante in the middle. It looks like it's a two-seater, not a two.
Honestly, the front end to me looks like a fucking Subaru.
Shut your whore mouth. That does not look like a Subaru.
Are
Get
you
him, George.
fucking out of your
Get him,
mind?
George. Get him,
Look,
George.
Look at
no, no, no,
more Saab than anything.
Get him, George.
No, look at picture in
Saab.
your fucking brain the older Subarus. That
I
looks
see
like a
Saab.
fucking Subaru.
I see a
Nah,
Saab.
nah.
I don't
I
see
see a
Saab at
Saab.
all. I see
I
more
see Saab.
Subaru, especially with this stupid fake ass hood scoop, which more than likely would be fake. That looks like
Who
a
else
Subaru
has
to me.
headlights like that? That kind
It
of
looks like a Subaru to me, man.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan overall.
I'm not either.
I-
I'm not either.
I think they could do a lot better at emulating
behind the door back.
the Eldorado. They dropped. I don't know who came up
agree.
with that. That- No,
I agree.
The back
I
end
don't
of the
like
car, yes. Front of the car,
With
no.
this one, I don't like the GNX. I'm on board. This one sucks. I don't
Yeah,
like this.
I'm not a big fan of the Cadillac, but yeah, they absolutely should make that Buick.
Now this looks terrible.
Yeah, I don't like that hood. Hate the
Wow.
hood.
It gives me Genesis
Hate the hood.
headlights.
Gives you what?
Genesis headlights.
Overall, yes, I agree. That's Cadillac.
Yeah, well,
That's
That's
I
a
like.
Cadillac.
that I like.
Yes,
that I like.
That I like.
that's an Eldorado from the '90s.
Yeah.
And they didn't
From
even
the
really
back, from the back of
modernize
this
it.
car is fantastic.
That I like.
yes.
Yeah, that's
That I
fine.
like. But from the front, that other view if it didn't have a Cadillac badge in the grill, you wouldn't know what the hell it is.
No, absolutely not. And here's your profile.
Kind of
No.
lukewarm.
Yeah,
I'm
I
lukewarm
don't
on
like
that.
it.
This-
From the
this
back,
one-
from the door back, I like.
this one's a miss.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah,
Love
this
that. That is outstanding. Don't
That-
like-
This
right
is
there.
fine. This
Right
is
there.
fine.
That's outstanding right there.
That's horrible.
That is. That's like, yikes.
I can't stand that.
No, from the windshield forward, they got to change that.
Absolutely, 100% agree.
Yep. Love the rear end on that car.
Yes.
That rear end that's a sexy rear end right there.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, they did good on that.
Yep. That's a nice butt.
All right, so that's all I have for like main content. I don't know if you guys want to go a little bit longer. I have some lists.
I saw an article today
Oh, okay.
from Saudi Arabia. These rich, stupid people. I love them to death.
Overly fucking rich.
Oh, overly stupid too. Charity auction
Okay.
for specialty plates
Uh-huh.
has now topped $15 million.
Huh?
They auctioned off a plate for the number 2 for $15 million.
Jesus.
Wait. A license plate?
A license plate. Topped back from 20. I want to say I think it was just 2016 or 2018. The number one sold for 14.5.
Well, why?
It's a charity. It's exclusivity.
Oh, who
The
cares?
number one.
Those assholes have too much money.
Not only they auction off.
Fuck yeah, they do.
I mean, if they're paying $15 million for a license plate, they got too goddamn much money.
I don't give a fuck what it says. It could say, "Fucking shove it up your ass." I don't care.
They have
$15 million for a piece of metal.
They have too much money over there, and
Fuck that.
they're running out of shit to spend it on.
All right, so we're gonna go through this really very very short list that is actually really interesting because it pertains to cars that are slower around the Nürburgring than the current Audi RS3. And the cars that are on this list are actually going to surprise you.
Not necessarily.
It might. It might. The RS3
see that Bugatti. I'm not surprised by that freaking Bugatti. I'm not surprised at all.
That one I'm not surprised by because it's heavy as shit.
I was
It
gonna
doesn't,
say,
it doesn't
it's
handle
too
well.
heavy. You can't make a car that heavy handle right. You just can't do it.
No. It weighs like 5,000 pounds.
Yeah, I don't care what you do to it. You can't make that car handle.
Absolutely not. In a straight line, it's fucking ridiculous. But no,
It
going
should
around
be.
corners. Okay, so but the RS3, for those of you that don't know, it's the pocket rocket, fucking small sedan from Audi. That's what it is. It's a small sedan from Audi, but they made it a fucking not a hot hatch, but it's the hot rod version of the version of the A3. It makes decent horsepower. It handles well.
I wish they had kept the wagon version.
I agree.
Of the A3.
I agree. Everything that, well, not everything, but a lot of things.
A neighbor of mine has an A3 and every time I see it, I'm just like, I wanted you so bad.
Well, okay. So this is the current RS3 down here in the bottom in the green.
Mm-hmm.
That's gorgeous. The current RS3. So I'm gonna give you some numbers real quick. The newest RS3, 7 minutes 40.7 seconds, around 13.2 mile track. That's really really fast.
Yeah, it's carrying the mail.
That's really really fast. That's faster than like older Corvettes.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's really really moving for this car. It's a small sedan. I'm gonna give you some perspective. Also, the Bugatti fucking Veyron. Again, this car did it in 7 minutes 40.7 seconds. 740. Okay. Remember that number. Okay. 740. The Bugatti did it in 740. The RS3 is a $60,000 car?
How the hell did the Veyron do that in 7 minutes and 40 seconds?
740. It's because it has power. It's fast.
Yeah, but things got to handle like a lumber wagon. Huh?
It doesn't handle great, but it still did it in 740. Now I'm going to give you more numbers. The Audi only makes 401 horsepower.
Yeah, but it's a lightweight car.
Agreed. But the Veyron makes 1,200 horsepower.
Yeah, but it weighs 2.5 tons.
Yeah, 5,000 pounds.
Yeah.
It's just
there's a big difference.
$2 million car versus $60,000, and they do the exact same time around the exact same track.
Well, it depends on what you want your vehicle to do. You know.
Well, for sure.
I mean, if you want to show off, you want to be king shit at the supermarket, you buy a friggin' Veyron. Mm-hmm. If you want to go fast around the ring, you don't necessarily buy a Veyron.
You don't need one, no.
No.
But if you're driving your Veyron to the supermarket, I want to shake your hand.
Hey, there's a guy in Canada that does.
I want to shake his hand.
There's a guy in Dubai that does.
You know that guy?
Dubai is a completely different fucking animal. Fuck Dubai.
Well, yeah, I'm talking about, that show on Motor Trend, that shop in Canada called The Guild?
Yeah.
Vaguely, yeah.
It's called Restoration Garage.
Yes.
The dude that owns that shop knows a guy who's got a car collection and he has a Bugatti Veyron.
Okay.
And this guy drives that car to the grocery store. And when he comes out of the store, everybody's crowded around the car. He lets everybody sit in that car.
That guy has too much money.
He's got a ton of money, and he
Too much
drives.
money.
He drives every one of his cars. He drives a freaking Veyron to the grocery store to buy milk.
Okay, so
he
he's
I'm not mad
He
at
lets, he lets people sit in that car because
he's another fucking.
most people never see a car like that.
Well, I have seen one in person, but yeah, I mean, I've never been up close and sat in one.
There you go. And
For sure.
this guy, I don't know where his money comes from, but he's about as common as anybody could possibly be. This guy drives a freaking Bugatti Veyron to the damn grocery store.
Respect.
And he will let anybody and everybody sit in his car.
All right, you guys talk for a moment. I need to pee, like really bad. I'll be right back.
Dad, I did send something to Bob, and it was a rendering of full-size sedans in a possible wagon form. Well, I wouldn't say full-size. They had a Malibu, the CT6, some Buick Roadmaster, and another car. Honestly,
was the Roadmaster the station wagon?
Yeah.
You know, we went down to Ann Arbor this last weekend, and we were on US 23. We were almost to Ann Arbor, and an early 90s Buick Roadmaster station wagon was on the road. I would have given that guy cash money on the spot for that freaking car.
Yeah.
If we weren't on the freeway, because you just don't see those big old station wagons anymore.
Don't. And
I love those cars. Love
I
them.
want to inherit a 96 Cadillac Fleetwood Brougham. It's only got 120,000 miles on it. My great uncle passes, that car comes to me. It's in mint condition.
I tell you, if you can get that car, you would have something there, my friend.
Yeah. It's garage kept.
Because that's one of the last land yachts ever made, right there.
Yes. Yes, it was.
I mean, that car has a hood so big on it you can play tennis.
Man,
all you need's a net.
13 bikes can go in the trunk and still got room for the golf clubs.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm all for it. It's a beautiful forest green with a tan interior.
Yep, they don't make Cadillacs like that anymore. That's when Cadillacs were Cadillacs.
Yes,
because they were two blocks long and a block wide.
I apologize. What are we talking about?
Cadillacs.
Oh yeah, they were fucking land yachts.
Yep, love
Absolutely.
them. Love them.
All right,
the bigger the better.
Oh yeah, the old Coupe de Villes, the Eldorados, yeah, they were the shit.
Yeah,
especially those fucking 50s models with those giant fins. Oh, they were ridiculous.
59.
Yeah,
Bob,
exactly.
That thing I sent you on Instagram of the sedans renderings.
What, right now?
Yeah. Can you possibly show it to your daddy?
All right, hang on. Let me pull it up.
Because I'm going to see that CT6.
Oh, okay, yeah. You just now sent it?
No, I didn't send it to you. I can. It's on the Instagram. I can send it to you.
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh my God, I got you. Give me 2.5 because you're breaking my heart.
All right,
I'll show them these
wagons.
Figure
that out. I'll be back in a second.
Oh, all right. I was gonna show them those wagons.
Yeah, the wagons.
Yeah, I've got it.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I've got it. I'll
the Malibu Max.
I'll hold it up to the. I'll hold it up to the old camera. Yeah.
I don't like the. I do like the Impala wagon. I do like that.
The Biscayne, yeah, it's nice. The Camaro is weird. I don't really care for the Camaro.
No,
the Roadmaster, I'm not a huge fan of. The Malibu,
I like the Roadmaster.
Nice. I don't know. I mean, it's okay. Shut up, volume. Yeah, it's not bad. The front end needs to be a little bit different, though. And
yeah,
the front end is what's turning me off.
Cadillac is singing.
Oh, the Cadillac is ridiculous, dude. Yeah, the Cadillac is the best for sure. The Camaro's weird. The Biscayne is nice. I just really wish they would redo the front end. Because the front end's been the fucking same since 2014. I'm just tired of the fucking front end. Yeah. Stop fucking producing the exact same bullshit for too long. I understand that redesigning a car is expensive, But people have a short fucking attention span.
Yes, I got
Like
it.
they really fucking do. They want
Stop
different.
pumping my leg.
They want different shit every 3-4 years. 3-4 years, people fucking lose interest. You can't have the same shit for longer than that. Dodge. You and your shitty fucking interiors. All right, Dad. George wanted me to show you this real quick. And
Yeah, bring it on.
We'll get your opinion on which one you want. Let me try to fucking hold it up to the camera properly. Wait.
Hey, hold on, Bob. I got you. I want to send you a
Hold
picture
on,
of
hold
it on Messenger so you can pull it up.
What picture? Of what?
The Cadillac.
Oh, just the Cadillac?
Yeah,
Or do you want?
screenshotted it. I was able to
You want them to see all of them?
I do, but I'm trying to screenshot them.
Oh no, it's fine. I'll just hold it up to the camera. He can see. Which one of these wagons do you prefer?
Not that.
I like the Impala wagon. Looked pretty good.
Well, they call it the Biscayne, which was a thing.
It was. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I like it too.
Don't like that. Not a fan.
Don't care for the Roadmaster?
Love the Cadillac. I like the Cadillac.
That shit.
The Cadillac. I would say the Cadillac and the Chevrolet I like the best.
Me and George are Cadillacs, but the Chevrolet is very, very close.
Yeah,
it's very close.
Yeah.
The Camaro, the rear of the Camaro, the shape of the rear is weird.
Yes.
Now, where
that would be between the Cadillac and the Chevrolet would depend on what they did with the rear end.
For sure. Now, where I like have my biggest complaint is that Roadmaster. I like the rear because it looks like the old Roadmaster, but don't really care for the front.
Yeah, I like the front. I kind of liked it because it was
the front looks too big, even for that car.
The front looked too big.
Even for that car, though, the front end of that Roadmaster, it just looks too big. I don't care for it.
I like it.
I didn't think the Chevrolet or the Cadillac looked too big in the front, George.
No, for sure. They had the proper proportions. They just added that wagon rear end.
Yeah.
Where the Roadmaster went wrong isn't necessarily the front end they used. They just didn't work out the proportions right. The hood looked like it looks too big.
The hood looked like it was too high.
Yes, it just looked too big.
Yeah, see the older Roadmaster wagons were more of a wedge shape.
Yes,
they kind of the nose pointed at the ground.
Yeah,
I like that.
Agreed. All right, so the next one that outperforms, or the RS3 outperforms, is the Murcielago. And this is
like
the
that
LP.
Lamborghini.
Yeah, the LP640.
That doesn't surprise me.
Badass.
That doesn't surprise me though.
740. It was heavy. The technology. It was still a Lamborghini.
See, that's the thing about a lot of these cars. I just don't think they could go fast in a straight line. I just don't think that the manufacturers put a lot of thought into the suspensions as far as going around a racetrack like the Ring.
Well, the biggest problem with a lot of these cars that we're going to look at is the name. The name is what sold them.
Take him out real quick. I'll be back.
No, you're good. You're good. The biggest problem with these cars is the name is what sells them. They're still good vehicles.
Oh yeah,
but they're probably not what they should be.
Agreed. And I think that's the manufacturers, they can't make the vehicles be all things to all people.
Exactly.
So I think they have to pick and choose exactly what they want the vehicle to be.
Yeah, I mean, this is more of
that way. That's why they cut corners in certain areas, and that's why the cars don't measure up on a track like the Nürburgring.
For sure. And along with the Bugatti, this car is a niche vehicle. Like you said, it fits a certain demographic.
Yeah,
not a lot of people could afford them.
Right.
I mean, this thing fucking made 631 horsepower.
Yeah, that's respectable.
Versus 401.
Right.
Still got the same time. But a lot of technology is different. We're talking about, when did this car come to market? 05?
Well, and you're still talking about a little bit of weight in that car too.
Oh, sure. I mean, this thing probably weighs 2 tons.
Well, yeah, and that has a lot to do with it.
I I know, but this thing came out in around 2005.
See, and that's
yes,
and that's the thing in a vehicle like that, the manufacturers, they have to balance handling versus ride.
Yes,
I mean,
yes.
So
Lamborghinis of this era were driven a lot more than the Lamborghinis of the 80s.
Right, and that's the thing. In a vehicle like this, you're walking a fine line between the vehicle being comfortable enough to drive versus something that is like so friggin' radical to get around a track that it's going to beat your brains out.
Yes, 100% agree. Yep.
And so that's the thing that the manufacturers, the engineers especially, have to. They have to work with that.
And that whole point that you just made, it kind of cements, or maybe vice versa. But the guys on Top Gear used to say, if a car is tuned to perform well on the Nürburgring, it's shitty on the road.
Oh, it's going to be. It has to be.
It absolutely has to be.
It's gonna drive your spine through your freaking skull on the road.
Absolutely. And I think it's the same for a road going car on the Nürburgring. It's not going to perform well.
No, hell no. The thing's going to wallow all over the place.
Yeah, it's just
the body lean is going to be stupid to the point where you think you're going to flip the fucking thing.
It's not going to have as aggressive as sticky tires.
No.
The suspension isn't going to be tuned.
It's going to be too soft.
Right. It's just not going to handle, like a track car.
Right, and that's where the engineers, like I said, they have to walk that real fine line.
Yes.
We can make the car handle respectably, but we can't make it handle like a race car because
it's a road car. It's a road going car.
Joe Blow is going to want to drive this thing home from the track, and when he does, he doesn't want his freaking brain scrambled with the first pothole he hits.
Exactly. So yeah, I mean, it makes sense that these two cars have clocked in at the same exact time as a pocket rocket, quote unquote, not track focused, but something that can perform on the street and the track.
Right.
Then in modern times, because these cars are old. They're fucking old.
Yeah, agreed.
The Veyron hit the market in 04, 05, and I think the Murcielago was 03 when it first hit the market, because the Diablo,
so that's a 20-year-old car.
Right. The Diablo went out in 02, and the Veyron was a brand new vehicle. So
right.
Yeah, it makes sense. This is the 599 GTB, 7 seconds slower than the RS3.
Yeah, I can believe that. I don't think that was never even remotely close designed as a track car.
No, for sure not.
It's
a front engine V12 car.
Yeah, well, that right there, that's like a boulevard cruiser. That's what you drive. That's what you drive down the freaking street to impress all your freaking friends.
Yes. Oh, I have a Ferrari, but it's not an Enzo.
Right. It doesn't matter. It's got the dancing stallion on it. People will go, "Oh shit, he's got a Ferrari."
Right. And it's got the fucking screaming ass V12. So
there you go.
That's what's the most impressive about the car.
Exactly.
So yeah, it's 7 seconds slower than the Audi, which whatever.
Not surprising.
That's not what this car is built for.
No, it's not surprising.
Yeah. The next one is the Lexus LFA. Not surprising at all. Actually.
I don't know anything about those cars.
Okay, so the Lexus LFA took 10 years to develop and bring to market. When it came to market, it was in, I think, 2009. Yes, it was 2009. But they started developing it before the year 2000, when technology was archaic in the automotive industry.
It's got to be one of those vehicles that the engineers did their best to balance the car between a track car and a road car.
I don't really think they did, to be completely honest, because they never raced it. Lexus isn't really known. Honda, yes. Lexus isn't really known for their racing prowess.
See, and I didn't think they were. I mean, you hear about most racing cars. Lexus isn't one of those marks that you hear about.
And obviously, Honda has the racing pedigree with F1 and Indy, but not a lot of that makes it to the road.
Right.
So when this car was first started to being developed, let's put it into perspective. The Camaro SS only made 320 horsepower.
Right.
That's a little bit of perspective. Now, when this car finally made it to production, it had a V10, which was very unusual for Honda. It made really decent horsepower, but it was like 550 maybe horsepower for 2009. Really not that much, especially for a car that cost, hold on to your fucking hat, $400,000.
Oh, that's ludicrous.
That was 400 grand.
That's obscene.
It had a 400 or a 500 and some odd horsepower V10, which I'm going to play this video for you so you can actually hear the car because it sounds phenomenal.
I don't doubt that.
Oh, it sounds fantastic.
I don't doubt it, but I mean, 400,000 is ludicrous.
400 grand for what is essentially an IS300 with a V10 in it. It's a front engine car, rear wheel drive, so it won't put that power to the ground. The interior looks like a typical fucking Lexus. No exotic materials or anything like that. I think the body might have had some carbon fiber. But overall, it's a shit fucking car, especially when you factor in when the GTR first came to market from Nissan. That was an $80,000 car. And that car ate this fucking car's lunch.
I'm not surprised. I mean, just looking at this freaking car, just looking at the picture itself, there's nothing special about that car.
There's really not.
I mean, to me, it's a generic design. It's got it doesn't have any kind of spectacular profile or anything like that. If people paid 400 grand for that, they had too much money and nothing to spend it on.
Oh, people absolutely paid for it.
Well, they overpaid my book. So.
I agree. From fucking day one when I first saw this car, I was like, that's not a $400,000 car.
Not even close.
Especially, like I said, especially when the Nissan GTR first came to market. That thing was 600 horsepower. Or no, I think it was like 500 horsepower, but it was all-wheel drive. It was lighter. It had all of the driving technology that you need to not even need to drive the car. And it literally destroyed this car in every aspect other than how it sounded.
That's not surprising. I mean,
right.
There's nothing special about that car.
There's really not. If you didn't know what you were looking at, you would just think this was a $50,000 Lexus. Now, I'm going to play this video. Well, actually, you won't be able to hear it. Shit. If you want to hear how it sounds, just Google this shit. Lexus LFA. It sounds incredible, though.
Oh, I don't doubt it.
It really, really does. That's literally the only thing this car has going for it is its exhaust note. Literally. No one can fucking argue that fact either. When it first came out, people maybe could argue. Now, there's no argument. It's a piece of shit. In the grand scheme, it's a $400,000 piece of shit. It didn't perform to its expectation.
I get it.
It didn't at all.
It's a $400,000 boat anchor in my book.
It really is. It really is. Anyway, next one's a Porsche 911 GT3, 7 minutes 40 seconds. It matched it. That's actually kind of surprising the way that. And I really hate to admit it, Porsche engineers know what the fuck they're doing.
Well, they should. They've been doing it long enough.
They really, really do. They know what they're doing, especially since the car is rear engine, not mid-engine, rear engine.
Yeah, but these guys, they've been dealing with that aspect of a vehicle for like 60 years.
Precisely.
So they have it down to literally a science. They know how to balance. Science. They know how to balance that car. Mm-hmm. Where rear engine, rear wheel drive is not an issue.
It works for them.
It does because it's all they know.
Yes, and it's still
they should be good at it.
Even to that fact, it still blows my mind. Like just how well the cars perform in the right hands. Obviously.
Oh well, yeah, no doubt. I mean. Yeah, that's an Andy Pilgrim car right there.
Fuck yeah, he could put it literally anywhere he wants, and
no doubt
outrace just about anybody on the road.
No doubt.
But when you put it into the hands of a retard, then it just explains itself. But they're still, and again, fucking hate to admit it, they make a good product. Why I don't like Porsches is the people that drive them.
Yeah, agreed.
That's why.
Yeah.
Same with BMWs.
Yep. Yeah, right there with you.
Yeah. Next one is the SLS AMG, the reborn Gullwing.
Yeah, that's right there with, in my book, that's right there with the Ferrari. That's the car you drive down the freaking boulevard to impress all the assholes that are driving freaking, Pintos and shit like that.
Yeah, I mean, if you're able, especially if you're able to actually open the doors while you're driving to get that extra attention.
Yeah, well, you do that when you get to the freaking grocery store.
No, I mean, if you're on the Vegas Strip, it's not super busy. I'm opening my fucking doors if I got Gullwings. If I really want to show off in Vegas, if I want to catch someone's attention, because it's going to be hard to catch somebody's attention in Vegas. There's all these lights, there's money, there's ridiculous cars. I'm driving down the road with my Gullwings open.
Right.
Yeah, fuck that. But this one matched it to the second. Which these weren't overly like ridiculously powerful. They did make an AMG black version. Yeah. Which was radical, over 700 horsepower, blah, blah, blah. But the regular one, it barely made more horsepower than the Z06.
Right.
For 180 grand.
That's one of those cars right there that walks that fine line between road car, track car.
Yes, absolutely.
So,
but for 100 grand, you're making barely more horsepower than a Z06. Yeah, it's more flashy. It's more low volume, whatever.
Yeah, well, and it's all the Gullwings. If you put Gullwings on a Z06, you'd have the same thing.
For sure. All right, the next one is the Audi R8 V10, which was 4 seconds slower.
Probably heavier. V10 is going to be a lot more weight.
For sure. So, and this is probably, I don't know if it's rear or all-wheel drive.
Well, still, 4 seconds is still respectable.
4 seconds is, yep. And the horsepower is not too far off.
Right.
The original R8 only made 414.
Well, and the extra weight from the V10, there's your 4 seconds right there.
That too, yeah, for sure. So yeah, only 4 seconds slower than the RS3,
and that's respectable.
Yeah, and that's an in-brand fucking rival, which is very surprising.
Right.
Because they typically don't like other vehicles being faster than their flagship, and the R8 is their flagship.
Yeah.
But whatever. The Gallardo Superleggera is 6 seconds slower. So there you go. The fucking corporate Lamborghini.
Yeah.
Slower than the Audi.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
It doesn't surprise me at all either.
No. Those cars, that's a lot of flash.
That's exactly what it was. It was the panache and the prestige of owning a Lamborghini, but underneath it's just it's an Audi.
Well, look at what those knuckleheads on the street racing show.
Street Outlaws.
Yeah. The freaking those guys in the freaking Chevy pickup truck that would go and
farm truck.
Yeah. They'd go and they'd pick up these guys at gas stations and stuff, and ask them if they wanted to race. Yeah. The biggest problem with cars like this Lambo were the dummies that didn't know how to drive it.
Oh, for sure.
Because I mean, if you look at those two when they line up side by side, and Asian would drop turn on his flashlight or whatever, farm truck would smoke this guy completely off the line. It's because these dummies didn't know how to drive these cars.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's for sure. I mean,
the cars aren't slow. You just have morons that have money that don't know how to drive them.
Oh, for sure. I mean, a lot of these people have never they've never spent any amount of time on a racetrack.
Well, no. I mean, it's like they're just a bunch of dummies that have money and they can afford to buy shit like that.
Right, and
no clue how to drive it.
And before they spend $250,000 on this particular model, They've never driven anything like this.
No, hell no.
Never.
They're
Never.
and most of them are lucky to make it home from the dealership without wrapping it around a telephone pole.
There's no doubt about that because they're dumb and they just
They
wanna
are.
fucking act like fools. Yeah.
And it gets right back to the thing. That's what happens when you give stupid people money.
Most certainly.
You know, it's a shame. It really is.
No, I'm right there with you. Next one's the Mercedes McLaren SLR. This one's actually fairly surprising. The exact same time as the Audi. But this car, Jesus Christ, 617 horsepower supercharged V8. And although it was billed as a mid-engine car, the engine was still in front of the driver.
Yeah, that's not a mid-engine car.
It's really not. And it shouldn't even be classified as that.
No, it shouldn't.
I don't care the orientation, engine to axle. This is not a mid-engine car.
Not if you're sitting behind it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Any engine, if you're sitting behind the engine, that is not a mid-engine car. I don't give a shit what you say. I don't care what the engineers say.
Yes.
I mean, if you're taking measurements and you're showing that the engine is in the center of the car, that doesn't make it a mid-engine car.
No, 100% agree.
If you're sitting behind it, it's not a mid-engine car.
100%
There's
agree.
nothing to discuss on that.
Nope. I 100% agree. And I think that was this car's downfall.
Probably.
Like it had a big supercharged engine that sat right on top of the axle, but it sat in front of the driver, which makes it front heavy, and it's a rear-wheel drive car.
And that's the problem.
It's not gonna handle for shit.
No, they tried to make it a mid-engine car, but like I said, if you're sitting behind it, it's not mid-engine.
Exactly. And that's exactly what I mean.
It's totally going to. Well, the thing is, from an engineering standpoint, it's totally going to affect the balance of the car.
Right.
And there's no way that car is going to handle.
Oversteer is going to be incredible.
Right.
Oh, the oversteer is going to be retarded.
It is. It's going to be stupid. I mean,
I'm surprised it got that fast.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, for that car to tie that time without spinning out somewhere on that track, whoever drove it, I guarantee you,
pro.
They knew what they were doing, but I guarantee you they had their friggin' hands full.
Oh, they were working the fuck out of that steering wheel.
Oh, there's no way they couldn't have been.
Yeah. They had a fucking workout that day.
Yeah, no doubt, because there's no way that car was balanced properly with the placement of the engine in that car. There's no way.
Not. No.
No way.
Not. I agree. That one's surprising, and in a surprising way. Like I figured it would be slower.
I mean, it's not a bad looking car.
No. They were fine. I like the side exhaust. You know, the front end design was fine. The dual hinge doors were innovative.
Right.
They weren't gull wings, but they were new.
Right.
And different.
I would just question the engineering of the vehicle overall.
For sure. Yeah, them pushing that giant engine so far back, that was a poor design. I don't know. I don't really understand it, but the new Porsche Cayman GT4, exact same time. This one should be faster. Honestly, if I'm being 100% honest, this car should be faster around the Nürburgring than that Audi. This is a mid-engine car, purpose-built GT4. It's a road-going version of the race car.
Then it should be faster.
It should be faster.
Yeah.
It only makes 20 horsepower less, but it's lighter, or it should be.
Right.
So for this one to be as fast doesn't make sense to me.
Well, and the only thing I could guess would be the engineering of the suspension had to have something to do with it. It had to be handling more than engine performance or anything like that. That's got to be the only thing that would slow that car down to the point where it wouldn't be faster around that track.
I think the Audi, the main advantage is the 20 horsepower and all-wheel drive. This is rear-wheel drive.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah,
there you go.
So that would make sense then.
Yeah,
but still, like, I don't know.
That's got to be it.
That's got to be. It has to be the difference maker.
Yeah.
The next one, that's it. Okay, that's all of them.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, a lot of them make sense. A lot of them are a lot older. A lot of them are a lot heavier.
Yeah.
You know, the Audi, the RS3 has the technology. It's small. It has a short wheelbase. It's lighter. It has all-wheel drive. It makes really good horsepower out of a 2-liter turbo. So, I mean, it makes sense that a lot of these cars are slower or as fast.
Yeah. Well, and, and if you look at the vehicles one by one in comparison, you look at engineering, you look at design, you look at horsepower.
Yes.
You look at suspension setup and stuff like that, and all that stuff. The engineers try to take all that into consideration when they're designing a car. They have to decide what that vehicle is going to do and go from there. And so, on a lot of those, the extreme vehicles, you're walking a pretty fine line. I mean, if you want to make a pure track car, you can make a pure track car
easily.
It's going to beat the living shit out of you when you drive it home.
Well, yeah, I mean, and that's what I said.
Right.
These cars that are tuned specifically to perform well on the Nürburgring, just to set some stupid record and sell for $4 million to 100 people.
There you go.
Those cars are going to be absolute garbage on the road.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It doesn't matter where you are. You could be on the autobahn. It's still going to be a piece of shit.
Yep.
Because it wasn't tuned. It wasn't tuned to be on flat ground.
Nope.
In a straight line at high speed. That's not what it was
that
tuned
vehicle,
for.
You're going to take that car on a trailer to the ring. You're going to drive it on the ring. You're going to have a good freaking time. You're going to put it back on the trailer, and you're going to take it home.
That's exactly right.
You're not going to drive that thing on the freaking road because it's going to beat your brains out.
That's exactly right. All these fucking track toys, they're called track toys for a reason.
There you go.
And that's what they're built for. That's what they're tuned for, and that's what they do.
There you go.
Some, not all, can walk that line, like you said, Dad. You could do decent on the track and still drive home.
Yep.
But you're not going to get that balance of where you kick ass on the track and you're comfortable driving home.
Nope, it ain't going to happen.
It's not going to happen ever. We don't have that technology. It doesn't exist. Period. But whatever. I mean, some of those were actually kind of surprising. Some of them were surprising in a good way and a bad way. Like I said, that GT4, I think it should have been faster. The horsepower deficit doesn't equate for the exact same time.
Right.
Although all-wheel drive does, help with handling and all that bullshit.
Well, and to me, in order for it to be fair, I would hope that the same driver drove all those cars.
I highly doubt it.
Not that.
I highly doubt it. If they were all driven on the same day, yes, for sure. But I'm sure that all of those times were set at different points.
Yeah.
So definitely not the same driver. In a perfect world, I 100% agree with you. On the same day, in the same conditions, same driver.
Well,
absolutely.
see, that's it. In order for that test to be, to me, 100% fair and accurate, it would have had to been the same driver drive each car at the same time on the same weather conditions, because the track is going to change based on weather conditions, the amount of heat and all that kind of stuff like that.
Absolutely.
So,
that's what I mean. Yeah, same day.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, if all right, so hypothetical. Andy Pilgrim took all of those 9 fucking cars, same day, around the track one time. Okay, that's a valid test.
Yeah. Because
he's probably driven all of those.
Oh, I don't doubt it.
He's probably driven every single one of those cars.
I don't doubt it.
And I honestly don't know that he's ever been on the Nürburgring, though. That would be an interesting question to ask him.
There you go. I'd be surprised if he had never driven the ring.
If he's never done it, I would be surprised too. But as far as like a hot lap or like actual like a racing environment, I'm not sure. Next time I talk to him, I might ask him that.
I was going to say, if you remember.
Next time I talk to him, I'll try to remember to ask him that. But he's really busy racing right now. Plus, he's training. Yeah. He's training somebody, so it's actually really difficult to get him on the phone.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I haven't tried to call him, but we messaged back and forth on Instagram very briefly. But yeah, it's really difficult to get a hold of him right now. But
Yeah.
Anyway, that's gonna do it for the week. We went super long, but
Of course.
whatever. We were
Dad's
having a
on
good
the
fucking
air.
time.
Who cares?
Good fucking time.
Yeah.
Time flies when you're having fun. Damn it.
It
There you go.
does.
All
Talking
right,
about
so-
cars, man.
Fuck yeah.
Yes.
It's easy to do.
It is.
Anyway, George and Father.
Yep.
Thank you for joining me.
No worries.
As always, it's always a good time talking to you guys about cars. We can talk for hours about this shit. It's just ridiculously easy.
Yeah, we just did.
Yeah, literally. But
Yes,
George,
yes, we did.
I'll see you probably next week,
Probably.
whenever.
Yeah.
And then Dad, I'm coming up in July. I don't know if Mom told you.
Yeah, I think she mentioned something about it.
Okay. But yeah, I'll be up there in July. So we'll figure out what we're gonna do. I want to go to Torch Lake. Like I've been trying to go over there for like the last 3 fucking years.
Yeah,
So
we'll figure something out. But
yeah, for sure.
depending on how long you're gonna be up here, I'm gonna see. My dad and I are going to that Lingenfelter collection week after next,
Oh, I'm so jealous.
and I'll check out and see what kind of hours they have, and if we could do that when you're up here, we'll go there. And if you have enough time, I'd like to take you out to Gilmore Car Museum out in Hickory Corners. Look it up online when you get a chance. They got some super cool shit out there, and you would like probably. Well, I won't say you'd probably nut on yourself, but whatever.
Car boner.
Nutting yourself. I love it.
Bro, you don't even have to explain where we're going. I'm going if it has to do with cars. Yeah,
There you go.
I'm for sure down. The Lingenfelter thing, you won't be disappointed. I guarantee.
Well, I was
you.
shocked when he texted me and asked me if I wanted to go.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
won't be disappointed at all.
Lingenfelter, hell yes.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, we'll be checking that out.
I still need to try to get. Need to get that connection to happen to come on this podcast. But him being as busy as he is, I get it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll figure out what to do when we come up there in July.
Yeah.
All
right.
That's gonna do it for the week. We got nothing else. I mean, obviously we could talk. We could talk for probably like 7 more hours, but
No doubt.
Yeah.
we don't. I know everyone else has a life, and I want to go. I want to plant my ass on my couch. So that's gonna
That's
do
what
it for the
this
week.
whole time.
Yeah,
I
I gotta
know,
go watch.
I know.
I gotta go watch a Tiger game.
Oh, the Tigers. Who are they playing?
They're in Toronto. They got their asses handed to them last night, so hopefully they'll win tonight. But
Season just started, didn't it?
yep, yeah, they're 9 games in.
Oh, okay.
So
Well, fucking Red Wings are out.
yep, they got one more game, and they'll be playing golf.
Oh yeah.
But
yeah,
at
for
least
sure.
Nashville's not in the playoffs this year. So
No. Yeah, they didn't make it. Although they did
Shots fired.
they did considerably they did considerably better than the Red Wings.
they did. I'll give them that. But
They did.
at least they got eliminated from the playoffs. So
For
they
sure.
can't run that bullshit.
Fucking
We made it.
Jesus.
You didn't. So
Jesus Christ, what the hell crawled up Boston's ass?
It's their cup to lose this year.
64 wins with a game left.
Yep, it's their cup to lose. So
What the actual fuck, man?
yeah, yep,
128 points just in wins.
yep. That's a record right there.
Yeah, it is. It beat
Yep.
the record.
Yep,
Shit.
they did.
That's
They
most
did.
wins in a season and
Yep.
most points in a season.
Yep, and they got one more. I believe they have one more game
They
left.
do have one more game. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous. Like
I'm rooting for them. I hope they do it.
I kind of hope they do too, but I have a feeling they're going to choke.
Well, we'll see. It's going to be interesting.
We shall
Yeah.
see.
To say the
Well,
least, yes.
I don't know. I'm supposed to be going to a soccer game with Sergio in a couple weeks, which is surprisingly pretty fun. He's got club level seats 3 rows off the field. Plus, it's free food and beer.
Well, there you go.
Why am I going to say no? Anyway, Dad, Sir, George, always
You almost called me Sergio.
fucking great time. Fucking
Yeah.
great time.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And someone
George,
said,
good. Hey, George, good to talk to you again, brother.
Good to talk to you too, Dad. I
Yeah.
gotta come up and visit you guys. I really do. I gotta
come up in July, bro. Fuck, the more people, the better, and the cheaper it'll be. Fuck. I want to get a cabin on the river or on the lake.
Plenty to do in Bay City.
I want to get a cabin on the lake in Torch Lake, and I've looked recently, and like cabins that sleep 10 people are like $300 a night. It's crazy cheap. So if you want to come up, I'm not gonna go the whole week. Obviously, I'll probably go like the 5th through like that Sunday or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's not gonna be as expensive, and it shouldn't be as crazy busy on the lake. So I mean, yeah, fuck, let's go. Predators aren't out. Predators aren't out yet. Yes, they are. I looked today. They're eliminated.
Yeah, they are. Mathematically, they're out.
They're out. They're done.
Yep, they're done.
I don't know who you are that said that, but they're done. They're out.
Yep.
And someone called me a potty mouth. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. That's why I like that this is my shit and I can say what I want. Potty mouth. You don't like it? Don't watch. You don't like it? Don't watch. Because I swear and I drink and I have opinions. And it's wit. Oh, wit. They're out, bro. They're done.
Yep. They're history, pal.
Sorry.
Yeah. Get over yourself.
And
Get over yourself. They're done.
I don't want them to do bad. As long as they're not playing the Red Wings, I don't care. I really don't. I don't care. I've kind of gotten over that. Only with Nashville, though. Tennessee can suck off.
That's why I want to move to Florida.
They suck. Anyway, we keep getting off on fucking sidetracks.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do.
All right, that's going to be it. Thank you guys, and thank you everyone that has watched and supported the show. But until next time, hang on, I got to get my music. Yeah.